Welcome back to the Supercar Connection Podcast.
He was using them for content. Quite literally his business.
Back in the stew, as you said.
Back in the stew.
How is this possible that all these young kids are at that level, unless they're playing some sort of a shell game that I think is going to come to an end?
This episode is brought to you by Quality Collision Group. After an accident, it's not just your car that's thrown off track, it's your routine, your momentum, your focus. That's why I recommend taking your vehicle to a Quality Collision Group-owned shop. They are OEM-certified shops, use the exact parts and repair standards your car was built with. No shortcuts, no guesswork, just confidence restored. When it matters most, trust the experts. Find your quality-approved shop today.
So we have an in-house barber, right? So every Friday or every Monday, we get lined up before we record. Every Monday. So we have an actual barber in studio that works for us.
That's a dream. That's my dream.
Well, you know what? We were doing this shit and, it wasn't very long. Man, you let 2 weeks go by and on camera, you look extra scruffy. I mean, you guys, you look ragged. It looks way worse on camera. So we just realized how important it was to clean that all up as we started to grow. And so, we invested in that was years ago. And so we've had a barber in-house since 7
They got a tight facility, man.
Yeah, they were a tight ship.
I'm kind of bummed you guys didn't go there because I know you guys would have liked the podium one. We could have messed around on that a little bit. And the studio is really cool. It's a cool spot, especially if you're like in podcasters get a kick out of it, because back when we blew up that podcast, there wasn't hardly anybody that like we have a full-on we hired the company who did work for Netflix to come in and do our lighting and sound system, and if you go in, it's over the top, it's way unnecessary, but it's sick. And so if you're into the space, you come in and you're like, oh shit, this is we have full-on green screen. We can do everything from shooting professional commercials to all in-house editing and stuff like that. And so a lot of partners that we work with, part of the deal, that's what they get with us. So not only do you advertise with the podcast, but then we can actually make full-blown commercials for the partners. And so that's part of a lot of the deals I negotiate with them when they work with us too.
I see a lot of your commercials.
So if you haven't picked it up yet, and or you didn't read the description, today we have on Adam from Mindpump, which is a massive fitness podcast. He's been a long-time follower and listener of Supercar Connection.
I did. I found you guys early.
It's helped us a lot, so we appreciate it.
Oh, I don't know if I've helped you guys a lot, but
we've had some conversations.
Yeah.
And I've done my best to implement what we can ASAP. So there's definitely more things that you have told me that we haven't done, so we're going to get into that. But we pulled up. We're at the house. This has been a long time coming. Is all I wanted to say. We'll throw some B-roll up of the garage.
This has been a year in the making, guys. So you guys have no idea.
It's been at least that long. Do you remember when we first started chopping it up? I don't remember if I DM'd one of you or how we started talking even.
I think you either might have DM'd him or the main Instagram page, because then I think he showed me, and I was like, "Who the hell is this fitness douchebag talking shit?" And I was like, "Who is this guy?" And we started the deep scope, and I was like, "Oh, they're pretty massive."
It was probably the PJ episode.
It might have been.
Yeah, because I had already been following PJ. I've been following. Maybe that's how I found you guys. Actually, was his interview.
I feel like I listened really well.
I feel like I listened to you guys before him, even though.
Did you just see us talking about sharing a Urus?
That might have been the one. Because we did a solid first 4
No,
months.
I listened before PJ. I know I did, because I had already been listening for a while, and I remember when you had him on, I was excited because I was like, oh, cool, they got PJ on, and I already followed his content. So I'm trying to remember. If you gave me some names to guess before PJ, I'd tell you if I've seen him already. But I've seen.
Now that's so long ago.
I've seen most of your shows.
I'm trying to think early on before PJ who was massive like that. I think Gintani was before PJ. He was probably one of the bigger ones early on.
You like it because you're a car guy.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of. I think that. I don't know. That's like a strong statement in this circle, right? Some guys.
You like cars.
I do like cars. I like cars.
List your garage real quick.
Right now, this is in the garage that we're sitting at right now. The GT3 RS is in there. The 812 is in there. The 488's in there. The M8 Comp is outside. The GT4 RS is outside. The Chevy Lifted Silverado and the Range Rover SVR are outside. And the 68 Camaro is in the other garage.
Which is an eclectic group of cars.
Very unique and different.
Yeah.
So that's I know Joe's been itching to just come talk shit to me about Porsche, but I actually have a lot of similar feelings about it as he did or has. I used to. Where I'm at with cars is I really, and maybe this is where Gavin, you and I are more alike. Like I like all cars, I really do. Like there's not a lot of cars. I mean, my first real car was a JDM car. I was an Acura Integra. I had a 1998 Acura. I had the LS, so you could tweak the motor, not the Type R. Type R is cool stock, but every paycheck as a high school kid went into my car, and the very first thing I did was change the light inside the dome light.
Right.
And then that car, I did everything from cams, cam gears, fuel rail system, pulleys, headers, air intake. I mean, you name it. I had everything done to that car. It was nasty. Like you'd shift into third gear, and the stereo would come out of the dash. Like it was a cool little rice rocket that I had.
On purpose?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, I wasn't trying to lose my stereo.
I see.
Yeah, but it had that.
It was a
shit
kick
car.
car. It's like,
Yeah. No, I was not trying to do that. It would happen though, right? So,
I thought you were describing a feature.
No.
A pop-out screen from third gear.
No.
Yeah, literally sliding out of the
So that was my early life. So I'm old enough to be before Fast and Furious, and the reason why I know I'm going to date myself a little bit. I might be your oldest guest. Actually, I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, man, I'm supposed to be too old for this guy's show. I think PJ's a year or two younger than me. I'm going to be 44. So who have you had older? I don't think you've had anybody older. I think I'm the oldest guy.
Which is kind of crazy that
Actual
you're about to be
guest.
44 and that's the oldest guest.
Yeah, you guys have all young guests.
The oldest person technically is my grandfather.
Your grandfather.
But I don't know if I really count him because is my grandfather.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Actual guest
Outside of family,
I think
I'm the oldest guest that you guys have had.
That was a fun episode though.
I don't think I actually heard that one. I should listen back to that one.
We literally just talk about Corvettes the entire time because it explains exactly why I am the way that I am.
Yeah.
That's the only reason the episode.
So what you may or may not appreciate for the whole JDM car was the only reason why I liked it. So in high school, I like to be different. Like I'm the type of, and I'm still this way even as an adult. I like to go the opposite of what everybody else does. And so I grew up in a country farm town where all the rich kids or any kids that had nice cars, they were lifted badass trucks.
Right.
Nobody had rice rockets.
That
in fact,
explains all this.
me and my best friend were the only two rice rockets in all of town. So and that was what made me drawn to it, was that and then a year or two later, Fast and Furious came out, and then it was crazy. Everybody wanted it.
You were ahead of the game.
I really was ahead back then. And but there's a little bit of a story to how that happened. It was, we were talking off air to Joe's Curl about salespeople and how they make an impression on you. So we used to do this. I don't know if you guys ever did this. When we were 16, 17 years old, we used to go around. We lived maybe about 20 minutes from a main strip that had all the dealerships. My boy and I would go down there and say that we just inherited a bunch of money and that we were going to be buying a car. And so we were just out test driving. And so we'd see what dealers would fall for it and let us test drive. Many of them were onto our shit. Like, I ain't giving these kids the keys, you know what I'm saying? But every once in a while, some cool sales guy would be like, let's go.
Yeah.
And this guy takes me. It's the first time I've ever been in an Acura. And takes me out in an Acura Integra, red one, two-door coupe. And he takes me back streets. And he goes, I only have one rule. Drive it hard. You drive it fast. And I'm like, I'm a 16-year-old kid, throws me and just burn out, take off, and then instantly that was my dream car. Like I was in love with that car, and I had an opportunity, which is a whole other crazy story. We can get into another podcast on how it came about that this poor kid gets a brand new car. But I was a poor kid, and my grandmother ended up buying me a car because my parents took away the family car from me, which was a 1986 Toyota Camry, shit brown, mold growing in it, kicked out of second gear, piece of shit car. And they grounded me over I don't even remember, a late curfew situation. And I used to work at a dairy in high school, and I had to ride my bike 7 miles at 4 a.m. to get to work before I went to school. And the chain broke on the way there. And I just broke down crying, called my grandma. I said, Grandma, I was like, Mom and Dad, they took the car from me. I had to ride my bike to work. She was pissed. She's like, and that was like the apple of her eye, right? She's like, I'll be down there next weekend. I'm going to take you car shopping. I said, well, I can only afford a little S10 pickup. I've got $1,000 saved, and don't worry, we'll handle it when you get there. And so she comes down and she takes me, and I took her over to Chevy to get the little S10 pickup for $4,000. She's like, I don't want to put you in something that's not reliable. We're going to go get something new. What do you want? I'm like, really? Because there's an Acura Integra 2 dealerships over that I really want. She's like, let's go. And she bought me that Acura Integra. Parents took it away from me, said I couldn't have it, and made my grandmother take it back to San Jose and park it in the garage, and said I had 2 choices. Either I stay there and I live there without the car, or I get out and don't live there anymore and you can live in my car. And of course, originally I said, I'm out.
The car's
I sleep in the car.
Brand new
Yeah, that's right. I'm sleeping in the car. Later on, for all you young kids that are listening to this, until you're 18 years old, you have no life. You don't own anything, even if you paid for it. Your parents own it. And even if they kick you out of the house, they can call the cops on you and arrest you for running away. So I learned that lesson. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you moved out and they called the cops on you?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call it moving out. I, ran away to my friend's house. I was spending out on a couch for a couple weeks. Came back to come get some more laundry or whatever, and they basically trapped me in the house and then called the cops. And I live in a small town, so the whole police station came down for me. So it was a whole traumatizing ordeal. But that was the beginning of my car infatuation. It was back in 1998, and it was an Acura Integra that was my first love.
98. So it was a 98 Integra?
Mm-hmm.
That was the year I was born. Not bad.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. That would have made me feel really old right there.
I had to give you a little bit. You're a car guy, though. You can't say that you're not a car guy.
Sure.
You're deep in the trenches, dude.
I think a lot of that is relatively new obsession, though. Like, part of what I was drawn to your guys' podcast was I don't know if you guys are like this. My business partners and I are very much like this. I get very obsessive about anything I'm into.
Hell yeah.
If I'm into it,
Hell yeah.
I don't half into anything. Either I'm not into it or I'm into it, and if I'm into it, I
gotta make it my personality.
Yes. Yeah. So I went from being a guy even the first car, the Ferrari 488. The story behind that was an FU to the Cadillac dealership, because I had a Cadillac CT5 Blackwing earmarked. Nice. And spec completely out, and it was earmarked for 107, and that was fully loaded, super badass, and it was during COVID. And those fuckers sold the car out from underneath me, but told me, oh yeah, the chips, it hasn't came in. But if you guys remember what was happening during COVID, cars were going for 50, 70, and that car in particular was selling for like 170, people were paying high 100s for that car, and I had it earmarked for 107. So that was I had the whole printout, everything. And I even tried to give them money, and they're like, oh yeah, you don't have to give us money, don't worry about it, it's already got your name on it, you're in the computer, when it comes, you just pay for it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I just sat around and waited, and they just kept telling me oh yeah, it hasn't came yet, and I waited for 2 years. And realized that these fuckers sold this car from out from underneath me because they probably made 50, 60 grand on it. And I was so angry about that. And I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll go buy something else. And so I went and bought a Ferrari. And so that was kind of like my attitude. And that moment was really when I started to get more obsessive about exotic cars. Now I had, the Ferrari F40 and Testarossa on my wall when I was a kid, like probably many kids did. But I wasn't as obsessed about it until probably the last, 4 or 5 years did I get really obsessed with it. But I would always say, I always had cars. Every car I've had, I've always modified. So I've had a lot of different cars in my life. After the Acura, and I've had even the '68 Camaro. I had that for 15, 16 years. That was probably the first really cool car I'd say I bought.
You just weren't really a supercar guy.
Yes.
But you were a car guy.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to say it. I've always been into cars, and I've always modded my cars. I've never had a car stock. I've never kept a car
There's
stock.
a lot of different types of car guys, and I feel like that's even something that people love to talk about today. Because, we talk all that we talk, and there's a lot of people that say bad things about cars, and they're like, no, these people aren't car guys. Like, if you're a car guy, you don't talk bad about other cars. And it's like, maybe we just like different things. Yeah. I'm a supercar guy, but that's still a car.
Yeah.
I've never really cared about JDMs. I've never really cared about just getting a Camaro and modding it. I fell in love with Lamborghinis at a young age.
Yeah.
And all my life I was like, I have to drive supercars.
Yeah.
That's all that mattered.
I like them all. I think there is something, and that's what's interesting and probably about my take. I know that in the supercar world especially, there's camps.
Mm-hmm.
You're either the Lambo guy, you're the Ferrari guy, you're the Porsche guy, in every camp there, or the BMW guy who wishes he was a Porsche guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's
the natural
camp.
Yeah, right. So there's a lot of these camps. I come from I really do just like all cars. I even thought about buying a Miata. Because I just to drive that thing and thrash it around the corner.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of guys that say it's one of the funnest cars to whip around corners. And so yeah, I can appreciate every kind of car, and I really think there's all different types of reasons why some cars are better. So that's why I don't think there's like this brand is better than the next. It's like, well, what type of driving do you like? Or what kind of mood are you in? Because I think there's all types of different drives and moods that...
You said there's 3 types of drives, right?
Yeah.
What are the 3 types of driving?
There's cruising,
okay,
spirited, and white knuckle driving.
Okay.
Those are the 3 types of driving.
Explain.
Well, cruising is just like what it sounds like. You want to take your wife out on a date and cruise and, be flashy. Or even like, because the 68 works well for this too. Just cruise down the strip and go have lunch. I'm not trying to go fast. Engine sounds amazing. Right. Stereo's great.
Sub-genres of cruise.
Yeah, that's right. Those are the 3 main categories in my opinion. And then there's subcategories underneath that. And I think a lot of cars are the best for one of those 3. And I think you could fit almost everything into one of those categories. So that's kind of like your cruising.
So ideal cruise?
Camaro or the 812.
Okay.
Yeah, Camaro, the 812, and obviously very different. Like Camaro is like summertime, like good temperature outside, coastal thing with my wife, or going somewhere with a bunch of old heads where it's cool, or they love old schools, you know what I'm saying? And just, I love driving, like that's actually a fun car in traffic because the idle in that thing is badass.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, just to drive 5 miles an hour is cool. Where the 812 sucks in traffic. I don't want to drive that traffic. But I definitely want to go to, like when I take my wife to like, Morton's or like a really nice steakhouse, and I'm going to valet in the front, and she's going to get out looking banging hot. Like that's going to be like what I take. I'm going to take the 812. We're going to cruise like that. Spirited is like the 488. That's where like I'm on the freeway. I want to smoke most people on, like somebody pulls up next to me doing 70 and, and they're demon. And they rev, and they think they're fast, and they let them get a head start, and I just blow their fucking doors off. Like that's spirited, but I'm not cornering. I'm not doing that. And I'm kind of dark.
Slicing and dicing.
That's right, slicing and dicing on I-5 or 101, and I'm moving fast, but I'm under control. I'm not crazy. And then white knuckle is like it sounds. I mean, that is fucking, when you get out of your car, your heart's still pounding. You got goosebumps. You're talking fast, like.
Your hands are tired.
And that's the GT3 RS.
Yeah.
I mean, that is when you are canyons, back roads, and like I have a couple groups of different guys that I drive with, and they all kind of do different types of driving. And there's a group that white knuckle drives, and there's 2X pro drivers in there. I am not that guy at all, and then a couple other dudes that drive. And if I'm going to go roll with them, we're going to go out. I grab the GT3 RS because it's the only way I feel safe to hang with those guys. I am not taking the 812 or the 488, and I have, right? I've tried it, and I'm fluttering the gas, I'm easing corners. Where the GT3, I am on it, and I feel that I can push it on every turn, and I feel in control, and I just love that. I love how safe and how and let me tell you, and I think a lot of like pro drivers would say this, and I believe I think Edmund was on your show, and I totally stand by him. Like guys that race cars will tell you 500-something horsepower is enough horsepower for 99% of people, truly, like to truly use it. I'd be the first to admit that I haven't fully used that 812 horsepower. I haven't fully used that 488. I have not fully used those cars. I can't. I don't even
a straight line.
Yeah, I don't have the skills to drive those cars to their complete fullest capacity. Where the Porsche, and I also know that a pro driver would drive my own GT3 better than me, but it's the only car that makes me feel like
you can push it,
that I can really push it to its limits. And so, yeah, those are the 3 types of driving I'm going to do, and I do a lot of driving. I take all those cars out every week, and depending on the mood that I'm in, will dictate what car I grab. And I love them all for all different reasons, and I've continued to curate a garage from that perspective. Like none of my cars do I plan to sell, and I want to get more. And when I think about shopping, like part of why I didn't get the 720S was it's a V8 twin turbo. I have a V8 twin turbo. It is an all-wheel drive, so it does make that difference, right? So that's part of why I was looking at it.
You know the craziest part about that car, 720? It can do all 3 styles of driving.
Yeah, it can.
Am I wrong?
No, he's not wrong.
No, it is. I've driven it. It's an incredible car. It's an incredible car.
So if you can only get one, it's a great option because you can do all styles of driving. But you have a whole garage of things. So
yeah, I don't know if I could ever I mean, I get it if you have to have one. And I think that's where a lot of these guys get stuck, is they're like, they can only have one, so I have to decide to stake my claim that I'm a Porsche guy or I'm a Ferrari guy. I can't have two, I can't have three or whatever. It's like,
my wife's gonna kill me.
so I got to be that guy where I'm like, well, I don't know. I think all of them have different reasons. I'll tell you my least favorite thing about McLaren. They feel cheaper to me. Just straight up. Like when you get it, yeah, bro. Their 765 LT is the most luxury, nicest feeling vibe of all of them. I haven't been in a P1, but the 765 LT is pretty tough and it's pretty hard inside. 720S, even like a really good spec and everything like that, and I don't know, there's something about them to me that feel plasticky and cheap in comparison to a Ferrari. A Ferrari to me,
a Ferrari's tough to beat.
It is. And so that's, you know what I'm saying? And so
Hit it against your Lizard over here? You're telling me that they're not that...
Well, although I think that GT3 RS the interior is very underrated. I absolutely love that interior, way better than the 720S interior, by far. Way better. Not even close. Everybody I know that has a McLaren has some plastic piece that's fucking busting off or coming loose or have issues with it. That thing is built very nice. And every other Porsche model, in my opinion, sucks interior-wise, okay? Except for that. Unless you have like a Singer or you've done some custom 50th anniversary heritage or something like that.
Sure.
We're not going to talk about them one-offs that hardly anybody has, but every Turbo S model that's out there is...
The interior, you're saying?
Whack, interior.
The new 992, I think it's cheaply done.
It is.
Yeah, it's very cheap.
I actually like this year better than... I like the outside of the new one. Okay, so I'm not trying to clown and say like I wouldn't trade for that one because I think outside. I mean this year, in my opinion, the one that I have, the 991.2, I think is the first year Porsche started to kind of look like a supercar. I don't think it is a supercar. I think it's a great fucking little race car, but it kind of like what blew me away when I got that was I bought the Ferrari to stunt. When I bought that, it was because of the driving experience. But I was actually really surprised on how many heads and necks that broke. I mean, that car...
It's bright green.
I know.
Yeah.
If it was black...
And it's got a wing and it's got a roll cage and it's all...
If it was black, it wouldn't be nearly...
Yeah, black and silver wheels, Beetle.
That's fair.
But it's lizard green.
Yeah.
Right? Lizard green?
Lizard green, mag wheels. That supposedly, there's only 3 in the U.S. with that high of a spec, of that exact spec. Lizard green, mag wheels, full Y-sock, everything like that. Mm-hmm. Supposedly, I don't know. That's just how I got sold. But
with the 911, like specifically, everything is an option.
Yes.
Like when you go onto the Porsche Builder, if you've never been on the Porsche Builder, I've spent many hours building Porsches.
Did you guys see they're doing that to the CT5 Blackwing 2026?
No, what?
You guys didn't see that?
No.
Just came out today. The new CT5 Blackwing for 2026, they have 140 paint to sample options and interior.
No, wow.
So they're taking a page out of Porsche and the same manual transmission, same engine, and they're going to let you spec it out to like crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Supposedly the base though is 158 base.
Whoa.
Before your spec. So now you're talking probably a $200,000 Cadillac, which
Easy.
sucks.
Easy.
That sucks.
That makes it difficult.
I know, it makes it really difficult because at 107, I'm like, I'm in.
Right.
I'm in all day on
You got an Escalade V and you got a CT5 Blackwing, and you got a supercar garage.
Yeah.
Price wise.
Yeah.
It's a $400K garage.
Yeah.
Hurts.
But then you got to ask yourself, is this just the beginning of all these things starting to go up in price?
Yeah, the base Carrera is 135 grand
Yeah.
starting.
I know. I mean, they're moving all of them. I mean, everybody went up with the tariffs too, right? So even Porsche went up, Ferrari went up. Everybody announced they're going up some. So.
And if you have a used car, it just helps you.
It does.
Because as the new cars go up relatively, it pulls the used cars with them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, that was a part. So I didn't know that. I didn't get onto that game. So when I bought a little bit different and more traditional than like you guys or like what a lot of the young crowd is like onto the game. Like I come from a generation like you don't buy these cars until like you're fucking set. Like I waited until retirement was set up. Like I die tomorrow and my kids, my wife is completely set. Like they don't got to do anything. Like and I did all that before I got myself a toy like that. And so and then you don't do it unless you can buy it outright. And so I waited a really long time to even buy that car. And so there wasn't really a lot of price shopping for me. It was like I wanted a Ferrari and I actually really liked the 488 model 458 would have been a better investment. Looking back now, I wish I went all the way up to a Pista, but I love that car. I love the way that looks. I love everything about that car. But when I was buying originally, I never even looked at it like an investment. I looked at it as like a money pit I would probably lose, just like every other car I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until like really diving into like the cars and PJ and understanding spec and models, and then every car after that I've bought with that. So when you look at every other model I've bought since then, I've bought with that intent of like, okay, I can still go buy what I want, but now let's be a little smart about it and buy something that hopefully maybe it'll hold its value.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm lucky, it'll even go up, you know.
Yeah, and if you can afford to buy a handful of cars and you have a bunch of different cars to where you drive a lot, but it's spread out among a few different cars. So your mileage isn't just, it's different than having one car and putting 20,000 miles on that one car and you nuke the value of that car. You have 3 cars and you're only putting, a couple thousand a year on each, and those are all good value cars, good specs, and the value of all of them are rising instead of just nuking the value of one.
I had to explain this to my wife because she was like, "What the fuck are we doing? Like, you didn't have any of these things. All of a sudden, we have 8 cars now. What's going on?" And I explained to her. I said, "Listen, when I buy these, I'm buying very specific specs, and I don't want to run the miles up. And you know how much I love to drive, and so I want to be able to disperse it over a bunch of cars. Mm-hmm. And if I do it that way, and let's say we don't drive it after a few years. I remember when I bought the GT4, I was like, listen, if you don't drive it in 2 years, I can sell that car for what I bought it right now. Like it's held that value. When I bought it at a nice low, and it's such a high spec that I know I can turn around and sell that car. So it's like for what you pay for. So if we drive it and you love it, we'll keep it. If you don't, then I'm not worried about it. We'll sell it.
We'll give it to Gavin.
Yeah. Have you driven one yet?
No.
Okay, you guys one of your questions you always ask, okay? I think it is, my answer to the most underrated car is the CT5 Blackwing, just so you know. So that was my original, when they bring that question. I think the CT5 Blackwing manual transmission is one of the dopest cars that not a lot of love, doesn't get talked about a lot, not a lot of people, you don't see a lot of them that often.
Vehicle Virgins is on the case.
Yeah, Parker's the only one that's deeply into that.
Oh man, that is a dope car.
It's awesome.
It's a dope car.
It just doesn't have the clout around it. So
definitely. Oh yeah, it's not a car like, you're not going to roll up to a meet and everybody like, damn, with 99% of the people are going to see it and just think it's like a $60,000
That could be a car that is a good investment right now though. Because the buzz on it is growing.
Yeah.
So the reason why I bought it, and I'm actually, the way it worked out, the reason why I was going to buy it was because they originally were saying it was the last manual V8 that they were going to build, and then we were going all electric. So I was like rushing to get that car, thinking like, oh, this is going to be a great investment. Like, this is going to be a smart buy. Obviously, they rolled it out. They've now came out again and said they're going to bring it again. So I don't know how great of an investment it is if we're going to start to pivot back this way, but I think anything manual with that much horsepower is a good hold. I just think that because most real car enthusiasts want a manual, and there's not a lot of them that have a lot of good horsepower with them. And so getting a car like that, I think, would at least hold. I don't know if it'll go up in value because it's a Cadillac, but I think you could probably drive it for a while and not lose a lot over 5-10 years. So I agree with that.
Supply on manuals is so low now. So that's really all it comes down to. So few people make them. So you're looking at now, it's like today, how many manual V8 supercharged cars are going to have CarPlay, keyless entry,
right,
ventilated seats, like all that stuff.
That's such a good point.
All that stuff adds up.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought of it like that. Like, because not only is it the horsepower and the manual you're getting, but you're also getting all the luxury of a new car, because most all those cars that have that horsepower manual, they're old, they're like outdated. That's a really good point. I actually hadn't even thought of it like that. I mean, you have to go like to a Porsche ST and pay $1 million for something. That's like,
which is ridiculous. I don't know how that's even a thing.
It's kind of like the 20.
I mean, it's a dream car of mine. I would love to have it, but I'm also not an asshole. Like, I just don't. I would.
$1 million?
Yeah, it'd be hard for me. It doesn't matter how wealthy I am or get. To stomach $1 million on a car, it'd be really hard for me. There's a lot of good cars that you can get half of that price. Probably the closest thing to that I want in the collection is an SVJ. But I also, everybody I know that's owned one talks about just like, it's not a fun car to drive all the time. It's a cool fucking car to drive and stunt and do all that, but
make noise.
Yeah,
once a week.
Yeah.
once a week.
And I don't know if I don't know how much I want a car like that in the collection. That's $1 million that I don't want to drive that often. I'm like, I don't know. So
it falls. It's interesting. It doesn't fall truly in. I mean,
it doesn't fall in any of the categories.
Yeah, like it's kind of cruising, but then it's not an enjoyable cruise.
Right.
Not at all.
Cruise.
You're not white knuckling it. I promise you that. And Spirited, kinda, I guess.
The Spirited is only fun because it's just making the noise.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it falls in its own individual category. It's like if you want the ultimate stunting car,
100%.
it's that. I mean, exactly. It rolls up in any car meet and it breaks necks and is crazy, sounds crazy, looks crazy. But maybe the old guy in me. I care less about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like young me, probably that would be the dream car right now. But like I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it, but to pay $1 million to just look cool at car meets, like
No, it's not worth it.
yeah, exactly. And I going back to the original 3 things that we talked about, the types of drives. I want it to fit in one of those things, and I'm going to use it like that, and I want to use it frequently like that. And if it doesn't fit in that category, to park $1 million car in there, you know what I like is if I was going to spend $1 million over, is like a Carrera GT. A manual Carrera GT would be.
You were just talking about Ed Mondy, and he literally just pulled out.
Oh, I saw.
He was at the house literally like an hour ago.
So that was his.
Yes.
I saw the picture,
That was his.
and I also saw him post it getting done.
Yeah.
So he finished it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So who did all that work for him?
A breakup of people. So like I believe
RDV headed it up.
How much did he put into redoing that?
he'll never say it, but it's definitely a
They've
pretty.
been working on it for a year.
He's got
It
custom.
looks so good.
He's got custom carbon fiber to match the color of the interior.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It looks so good.
It's crazy how much work went into that car.
I'm with him too. Until I got the M8, I wasn't a big green guy, and I love that color. Oh yeah, dude, that's so clean.
He didn't even let me sit in the bucket seats because
And
he's worried I
look
was
at
going to
if
ruin
you
the
zoom in
bolsters.
on the carbon, there's like a bronze weave in the carbon.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's nasty.
God, that's why I want to know who did it.
There's on Instagram an account called Killa Carbon. He did all the custom carbon work. So if you're looking for custom carbon, not sponsored plug, I'll send you his app. Killa Carbon. He's in LA.
That is clean.
He does all custom carbon fiber. He hand makes the weave of carbon fiber. He can do anything.
That's such a.
I've never seen it before, and
That's such a hard spec right there. That's
That's
so good. And so if I spend $1 million on a car, I'd probably do like a Singer or Gunther Works, a car like that I would drive. And I would.
Which one?
Either one I'd be okay with. I wouldn't be mad at
It's
either
a
one.
tough pick.
Well, you know what I pick?
So
The one I could get a
different.
better deal on, because they're
Yeah.
both so sick and unique in their own way. But it's probably the one that I could get the better deal because I'd be happy with either one of those cars.
I probably lean Gunther Works.
Oh really?
I'll probably go back and forth, but the Gunther Works is.
I mean, they're both so tough.
Yeah.
And again, you could drive it. You go drive that thing. And
Yeah.
if I'm gonna pay $1 million for something, I better drive it, and it better be cooler than just showing up to the car meet and flexing on all the kids. Like that's not as cool to me anymore.
But if you pulled up in the Gunther Works, you'd be flexing pretty hard.
Kind of.
Or
You
the
still the right audience.
If you're in an L, if you pull up to an LA car show, like a OC Cars and Coffee,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're stunned.
yeah.
Well, let's be honest, and this is part of why you hate Porsche so much, is because the fan base is so hard and fervorous. I mean, it's big. I mean, that's why the GT3 RS really did surprise me. Like, I did not expect the like fangirling out of that car. I didn't buy for that. I really bought it because I was like, this is sick.
Well, yeah, and the story you have buying that car is crazy too.
Yeah, I was like,
You were on your way to buy a 720.
Yeah.
Alan was telling us you were on your way to buy a 720, and you just pulled over, test drove this car, and bought it.
yeah. Well, so a little bit backstory to that. I have a good buddy, Tommy, who owns California Wheels. He's like in the Bay Area. He is the man for like all custom everything for all supercars and stuff. So he's been doing this since he was a kid. He's a little bit older than me even. He's been doing this since he was a high school kid out of the garage of his parents' house, hustling wheels. That's how he started.
He was one of the first people, and sorry to interrupt, but he was one of the first people like on Instagram who was posting, business stuff.
Yeah.
Like he was
And
early days.
celebs, big celebs.
Celebs.
Oh yeah. If you're a basketball, hockey, football, any Bay Area like big name, you have a custom car or a supercar, you went to Tommy.
And then putting wheels on supercars.
Yes.
Because that didn't used to be.
Exactly.
Everyone does that.
Yeah, it was all the NBA and all the NFL players. They were doing it first.
But people were putting, custom wheels on 4 or 5.
No. They didn't have. I literally think that pro athletes were like the first people to really start doing that shit.
Because they had the money to do
They had the FU money.
Yeah,
It's like, who cares if they? Because all old heads that had money
Right.
want OEM. Nobody wants to. They don't.
Right.
Yeah, like so. It wasn't until all the young athletes started having that kind of money, and rappers, and so he knows every Bay Area rapper. He knows every. So, anyways, so Tommy, you can imagine with that long of a run of all these cars, and he's done all my cars. So, like I said, I've modded every car. So all my mods, I've always gone through him. So we're friends. And when I started getting into looking at supercars, I would always ask him, I'm like, "What's up with the Porsches, bro?" Like he had an AMG 63, and he has two Porsches. He has an old school 997, and then he has a Turbo S, and they're both not sick. But I'm like, this dude has driven every supercar that exists. He's got plenty of money, and so I'm like, what's with the Porsches? Like, and I'm in the lame camp right now. You know what I'm saying? They all fucking look the same. You can't tell if you spent 20 grand or you spent 300 grand on it. So I'm like, and they're a flat six. Like, who cares, right? And he's like, dude, he goes, I love them. And he wasn't like he's not a fanboy about it, so he didn't sell me hard. He was just like, no, I just love them. I always scratch my head. That's weird, bro. You have options, a lot of cool options. And, he finally just told me one day, he's just like, if you ever get a chance, he goes, drive the GT3 RS. I know you're looking at supercars and like that. Drive the GT3 RS if you get a chance. And it was on my way. I'd already shopped and I'd already driven. I'd actually done a 720S around a track, fell in love with it because it is a, like you call it, a piss missile. It handles the way it comes in and out of corners. It is a cheat code. I think it's a great way to talk about that car. And so I was on my way to go get one, and I already had the 488, and I was kind of wrestling with this because at this point I don't know that I'm going to continue building a garage. I'm like the addiction is starting,
Mm-hmm.
And I started going like, do I really like if I'm going to get another supercar, shouldn't I go like another direction, like way different? So I'm already kind of wrestling with that as I'm like already told myself to go buy this thing. And on my way, and probably like you guys, I get every alert to new car for sale and all this shit like that. I have all the fucking apps and so I'm obsessed. I fall asleep every night looking at this stuff. And boom, this thing pops up and it's a lizard green GT3 RS. And it's like, I'm driving on the freeway and it's like 2 exits up to get off. I'm like, oh, this is a sign. I'm supposed to pull over. So I just pull over. I'm like, I'm going to drive it. So I pull in and I drive the car. And at this point, I've never driven a GT3 RS before. I've been in plenty of other Porsches, Turbo S's, but I've never been in a GT3 RS or driven one. And I get in. And the guy, tells me to get on it, drive it. And I take it out of the parking lot. And by the way, this one already has a full Soul exhaust on it too. So I think that's a good caveat to say because
it's a major caveat.
It is.
It is the number one asterisk that goes.
And I didn't know that because I thought maybe the GT3 RS all sounded like that. I didn't realize like that the stock exhaust is kind of bootsy on those things. And so I take off and it just, bro, it sounds so good and it feels so good. And I was in love. And then the interior of it, I didn't think it was going to look like that. Again, being used to being in all other Porsches, it's a YSOC package, so it's fully loaded. And it has tech carbon fiber on it, so even the few plastic parts that are normally on it was carbon fiber. And I was just like, this is fucking sick. And it was so different than the V8 twin turbo. And I'm like, I'm buying this. I'd never even made it to McLaren, and I bought the GT3 RS and then became a little fanboy. So
did you call the McLaren dealer and you were like, hey, by
no,
the way, never mind?
he calls me all the time. He's done his homework on me since then and found me and stuff like that. The dude texts me all the time. Every time he's at like an event, hey, come on over to the McLaren party. And so he's been hustling to sell the McLarens like crazy. So they must not be selling very well. Mm-hmm. So he's always trying to get me to come check it out. Hey, I think the 765 LT is a dope car. And it is awesome, but to me it was too close to the 488.
Yeah.
And that the way I've been curating this right now is like trying to really do things that are unique and different from each other, so I can continue to build the experience every time I'm driving.
Yeah.
And so far, I really like what I'm doing. Like I think that there's definitely days where I know I'm driving this weekend and depending on where I'm going, what I'm doing, is my wife going with me? Am I going with my boys? I change cars.
What are you driving on to Car Week?
812. Just because that's a little bit stunting, you know? Yeah. I mean, Jesus.
You go.
Yeah, exactly. You go out there and like, I mean, if I go with anything else, then it's going to get washed away in the Koenigseggs and everything else. Like it may get a couple looks down there, you know? So. Yeah, no, definitely. It's the wheels are all done to it. I just got it detailed, so it looks really good for Car Week. I'll be in that. Wife will be in the GT4. But yeah, so that perfect example. We're gonna cruise. Wife's coming with me. I'm not driving hard or anything like that. Other drives, I'm gonna take one of the other cars for sure. So,
Yeah.
You just have one of the most, and again, you talk about it, but you have, when I remember I follow your content, I was really noticing, I was like, your selection of each car is the most curated out of anybody's group. Because everybody follows a somewhat of a suit. They're like, all right, I like a brand, I like supercars, I want expensive, whatever it is, but yours is, like even the SVR, I know is a very specific choice for the Range Rover specifically.
Yeah.
I respect it.
I had so my first Range Rover was for my wife, a gift. We had a Range Rover Sport that I bought her. Funny story also. So one of my favorite things about my wife is that she is the opposite of me. I'm the bougie, materialistic one out of the relationship. She's just like, she's so easygoing and like happy with whatever. I surprised her with the Range Rover, this Range Rover Sport, all white. It was a beautiful spec. And she came home and she saw it. She's like, oh my God, it's so cute. It's white. It's just like no idea what the model was, no idea how much it was, none of that stuff like that. It wasn't until she took it to work. She used to work for a construction company where a bunch of dudes were at, and dudes were coming and taking pictures of the car outside. She's like, what did you buy me? What is this, right? And that was my first Range Rover. And I know that before 2017, they had a lot of issues and a lot of shit talk about them, but they fixed that after 2017. I had a 2018 that I had back then. And I love that car, dude. It's just... it performs well. It's big enough to fit what I need to in there. It's a great daily. It fucking gets on it. It's fast. It's great. I have a cabin up in the snow, so we go up there. Like it just handles in the snow and the ice so well. Like just a badass car. I mean, and then of course the SVR is like the pinnacle of that. And so when I bought it for me, it was like, okay, I'm gonna get the next step up.
I want to know the reasoning and the story behind the M8.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
That's the most confusing car.
I heard you guys talk shit on the podcast. So I'm like, I can't wait for them to ask me this because that's a very fair question.
It had to be an insane lease deal or something.
So we can figure it out.
So I don't. I know that it's very common in the supercar world. Again, I wasn't privy to all this until much later. How many people lease their cars? Like I buy my cars, I own my cars. But I always have one car that I lease through the company. And my CPA keeps me pretty tight. I don't take a lot of risk. It's not worth it where I'm at. It's just like to try and save an extra couple $1,000s. Like my CPA is like, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
So, his rule to me was like, your car you lease should not be your most expensive car. It should be your work car that makes sense. And he's like, Range Rover, Mercedes, BMWs, like, that's, not Ferrari, not Bugatti, you don't lease that for your company unless you want to raise a flag and you want the fucking IRS to come bug you. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want that. And so I leased that car so the Range Rover used to be my other company car. I leased it for 3 years, bought it cash when the lease was up. The M8 is a lease. I'll buy it in 3 years myself personally. So the company leases it. And then that's the only reason why. And that's the reason why. And I would never put a supercar on a lease for the business. I do things that are legitimate and don't fuck around like that. And so, that's the reason for the M8. So,
okay. Makes sense. So we nailed it.
Basically.
No, totally. I would not.
That is the perfect car for the situation you just described then.
Right. That or like a Range Rover SVR or a G-Wagon. And those all fall in that category.
That would have been. I'm sure you've driven a G63.
I have. So before the SVR, I was going to buy a G-Wagon. You want to know why I did buy the G-Wagon?
Yeah.
Single axle. The ride is nowhere near as smooth as the SVR. Nowhere near. Again, stunting. Okay, the G-Wagon has a better presence. I love the interior. I love everything with the G-Wagon. I was going to buy it. And it's the ride of the SVR, and because
the G-Wagon feels heavier, no?
It's a single axle, so you feel the bumps. Like it's dual axle in the SVR, so it crawls over all the bumps in the road. So when I'm doing 80, 90 miles an hour on the freeway and hit a bump, you don't even feel it in the SVR. And because that's my car that I take the family up to Tahoe and I do things in it, I do long drives in it a lot of times. It's not my to and from work car. That was a consideration, or else I was going to buy it. So I was really close to getting the G-Wagon because I do love it, but that was the deal breaker for me, was that I think the Range Rover is a better ride. So, but again, back to the whole leasing thing, like those are the cars that were in the category. So there's a handful that I was shopping for. I would never buy an M8 comp full price cash personally. Like that's
we were trying to make sense of it, and I said, I hope he didn't do what I did.
Yeah, bro, that's a $170,000 car.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do for $170,000.
It's ridiculous. That thing is spec to a T too. It's beautiful.
Bro, you guys need to actually see it. So this is kind of a cool story too.
The Isle of Man.
Huh? Yeah, I forget what they call the green. It's a weird cut name like that. I think you're right.
Yeah,
he's probably right.
So when I picked it up, when I went and picked it up, this is kind of a cool story. So obviously not my first car, picking it up from a dealership or whatever. When I went and picked that car up, first of all, it was inside the dealership, and like the crowd of employees came to see who spec'd this car, and they were like, "Oh, is this yours? Man, we've been waiting to see the guy who spec'd this car. This is the dopest spec we have ever seen." Then, the 1,000 mile marker, I had to bring it back into the mechanics, which is like another shop that's connected to that place. Every one of the mechanics came out, taking photos, same thing. They're like, "This is can we park it here and leave it here overnight and so we can all look at it?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, for sure." All the employees that work there told me that is the baddest BMW they've ever seen spec-wise. And that thing, I love it, man. I did not know how much I was going to like it. Because you spec it online, and you're not sure exactly what it's going to look like until it shows up. But that white ivory and tan with Alcantara and all part, have every option on that car. And you know what actually pisses me off is it'll smoke most fucking supercars.
Oh, it will, yeah.
Bro, tune it too. It's really smooth.
Bro, fuck tuning it. It is 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. You know that? All-wheel drive, or how I drive it, I turn all that shit off and drive it rear-wheel drive, get that shit sideways and crazy in a fucking luxury sedan. It actually makes me mad how good it is. It does. Like, people ask all the time, "How do you like the M8?" I'm like, well, I like it, but it's like this kind of love-hate relationship because it shouldn't be that good.
Yeah, it's not. It shouldn't be as good as it is.
No, it should not be that good. And it feeds into the BMW dorks. You know what I'm saying? It just makes the BMW guys like more solidified in their stance of like how great it is a great fucking car. It is fast as fuck. It gobbles up. And because it's all-wheel drive, if you're driving in that way, like you're keeping traction and you're smoking 99% of cars on the freeway.
Yeah, would you say it's the ultimate driving machine? Or is it more innovation that excites?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's what makes it the ultimate driving machine for me. I think the closest thing to that statement is the GT3 RS, and it's only because I don't have a manual older GT3 RS. I think the more analog you get, the more of a driving experience you get. So that's more visceral, and you feel connected to the car. That's why a manual is on the next car coming will be a manual because. Yeah. I grew up on a manual. The Acura Integra was a manual, and so like I miss that feeling of feeling that connected to the car. And it's my biggest knock on where the supercar world is going is that we've gone so comfort and techie.
Plug and play. That's it.
Yeah, Ferrari, and they all are. Everybody is going in this looking like Tesla cars.
Well, think about it.
They asked I don't want to get it wrong, but I'm just going to say the CEO of Ferrari because that's what I think it was. But they asked someone in Ferrari, I think the CEO of Ferrari, if they will ever make a manual car or why they won't make a manual car again. Or they asked him if they would ever make a manual car again, Ferrari.
Yeah.
And he said, "We have lots of classic Ferraris in manual. You should go buy one of those. They're great cars."
I heard that they were working on a manual, a new F40 with what's his face. With Ferrari just signed a race car from Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton.
Supposedly they're working on that. So that's what I've heard. I don't know how true that
Lewis
is.
Hamilton will not own any more hypercars or something like that.
Is that true?
That's what he said. He's selling all this stuff and only buying electric and
really
green cars.
Oh God, he's like that?
Yeah, he is. He sold his Zonda. He literally had the most beautiful car ever created in all of time. The purple Lewis Hamilton Zonda. It's literally perfection. And he sold it because of his commitment to global warming.
Oh God.
That's gotta be.
It makes me so sad. That car's literally. If you feel bad about it, just don't drive it. Keep the car. It's literally.
Not only that, there's a million. Don't even get me started on stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Like you can be the greenest person and work on your carbon as much as you possibly can. It doesn't even matter because we have other countries that are increasing their carbon footprint and making it worse for everything that we do on the opposite side. So it's like,
cool. Private jets probably.
Yeah.
doing more than the Pagani.
His
that
one
you put
his
1,000
one
miles
private
a
jet
year
flight
on.
does more than his
Easily.
entire life of that Pagani will do. So
Easily.
that's why it's like stupid. You know,
It has to be publicity. It has to be. That's the only way it makes sense. That's the only way.
Man, that car's so beautiful. But anyway,
Well, you go back to your buyer pool thing. So like the whole plug and play, the newer car thing. It's the buyer pool has changed completely.
Mhm.
It's not the same. Like I think the average, the stat I read the other day was the average supercar age owner.
I know
age,
it's way lower.
It is way lower.
Yeah.
Like we're talking from high 40s to mid low 30s.
No, I think it used to be like 55, and I think it's now like 35. Or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
So-
saw that stat.
That alone is exactly the shift in how cars are becoming. There's a lot younger people. It's the same thing again. I talk about it all the time. Corvette changed their entire car for the next generation.
Yeah.
That's the direction everything's
Well, they
going.
did a good move. I mean, when they took the 458, unpacked that, and did that was the most brilliant thing they've done. I'm really enjoying watching Corvette and Ford, or Chevy and Ford go at it right now with the Nürburgring times and like build the GTD and going back with the ZR1 and watching them go battle, and like it's cool to see. It's cool to see the American cars battle like that. I wish we did a little bit better job on like the craftsmanship. I think in the interior side, so it had that kind of prestige to it. I think Corvette would do better if they limited their run and made it and spent more time making the interior like more wow factor, and because performance they're killing it.
Well, that's the
all
focus.
they would have to do
What?
is create a specialized factory for special order cars. So they could still crank Corvettes out of the regular factory.
Yeah.
And they have like a special factory, like Honda Acura did this with the NSX. So the NSX was made in a specific factory, and then in order to like keep production up in that factory, they started making special edition the TLX and the MDX.
Okay.
So there's like a TLX and MDX certain type edition. I'm blanking because it's been so long since I had to work on these car data things. But the big selling point was that these ones were made in the NSX factory by the NSX technicians and all that stuff. So Chevy could make a more like specialized factory for special order Corvettes that are handled and created by more craftsmen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, there's an opportunity right now, I think, for them to gain market share by doing that. I think if they were to limit it, make it more special.
Because Cadillac's trying to branch out and compete with like Rolls-Royce with
I know.
whatever. Well,
I think
I
Corvette
usually know
should
these
separate
things,
themselves. They should separate the brands.
Who? Several what brands?
Chevrolet and Corvette. Like
Oh.
I know it's separate in the sense that
Oh.
but I think like the smart play would be to make Corvette its own brand,
Yeah.
its own manufacturer.
Right, that's a good
It's
call.
a completely separate entity. than
that'd be a
Chevrolet.
bold move.
Yeah, like GM could still be the grandfather, but
Yeah.
make Corvette its own thing. You have
Yeah.
Corvette dealerships. You don't have Chevy dealerships.
Yeah.
And Corvette focuses specifically on that, and then they could do a deeper run, like you say, and everything else between.
Yeah.
But that would be the play.
Yeah.
The problem with it is, like, to your degree, for them to switch, it goes against everything that they are. Like, they're performance oriented because of the fact that it was like the person, remember, every American, I think this is probably kind of what everybody gets away from. American cars, like we're talking about Ford back in the 1940s, it was built, Henry Ford was the first person that ever did this. He built a car that could be purchased by the people that made them.
Yeah.
American cars have always established themselves
Right.
on that set.
Yeah.
So nowadays it's no different. It's a performance heavy car because it's affordable performance.
Yeah.
Corvette stands on that.
Yeah.
They're not trying to make a 300K car be quality at 300K. It's 300K because performance is like $1 million.
Sure. It seems silly though because you could do both.
You could.
You know what I'm saying?
You very much
like you
could.
still make a great performance car for the people, and then you go over the top, and maybe you partner with like this is a bad example, Eddie Bauer, or like what they used to do. Like you partner with somebody who does some crazy interior.
Throwback.
Right. Aged myself right there. I was like, fuck, I should go over there. They're like, oh my god, they don't know that shit. What do I say?
Was that Buick? Eddie Bauer?
You get them in Ford Broncos back in the day.
Oh.
Yeah. Ford Broncos had the Eddie Bauer edition. It was just, so my point you get, right? It was like you have your Corvettes that are for everybody, and then you do some like luxury line that you partner with somebody who like specializes in interior.
Yeah.
You make them do it like over the top sick.
King Ranch F-150.
There you go.
I mean, those still exist. Yeah, no, that's actually. I mean, have you been in like a 3LT or 3LZ?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
not the new ZR1. I've been in like your
the
C8.
3LZ like Z06.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like it
Oh, it's
goes
nice,
up. Yeah.
but it doesn't touch any of the supercars. I don't think.
But it's
I don't know.
It's 140 grand.
You know what it is?
I mean, let me. I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, so this is the thing you guys always play is like, and it's fair. Is like you go for the price. It's like for the price. It's hard to argue with you. I mean, that's why I almost bought. I was like, fuck, for that price, I'll have one of those, throw it in the garage. And I'm a huge fan, but I'll probably buy one. It's very reasonable, you know. So, I mean, fuck, I have an M8 that costs more money, right? So, like, why would I not have a badass Corvette that performs sick, you know? So, you know, I get it for the price, but I mean, if you're really in the market for a supercar, and that's one of the options, and you know, and most guys I think that are in the market for supercar. Most guys are not 50 grand north or south isn't really making the difference. At least it wasn't for me. Like that, like a car purchase was never. I never looked at a car and went like, damn, if it was 50 grand.
I think you're unique.
Yeah.
In that sense, like you know how you're saying, how we said earlier, like most people it's one car, so they have to like stake their identity in one car.
Yeah.
Because most people it's like budgeting for one supercar like that, $3,000 a month is attainable for a lot more people.
Yeah.
Than having a garage who. Oh, I know you say you like to own cars. I don't know how much is financed or whatever, but I mean, this would be 25, 30 grand of car payments if you were financed.
If you were financing all that.
And that's a lot different of a story than one car.
Well, this is so
for a lot of people that 50 grand.
But to your point, okay, so this is new. This conversation you're having right now, because I grew up in a time when like you didn't do that. You didn't finance supercars. Nobody financed supercars. Right. That wasn't a thing. Like you bought a supercar when you had $300,000 to burn.
That's why everyone has a supercar.
Well, no, you're right. That's why it is like that. And so now it opens up this new conversation of how to do it. What's the best way? And what's the best bang for your buck? And it's like, but I grew up in a like you buy a supercar when you have disposable income that you can light on fire, and it's a cool thing to light on fire.
Because it used to be.
It's like if I have this much to put down and I can afford this much a month. That means 200 grand is my max. So that extra 30, I really like this car for 230. I can't afford it.
Yeah. See, I don't
only afford 200.
None of the cars were ever made on a decision like that. And I mean, I have at any time I could have 2 or 3 car payments. I never have more than that. So I'll have 2 or 3 cars that might be financed, but I also pay down double on the payment, and like I don't even know what the actual real payment is on them. It's like my goal is to pay them off right away, and then maybe I'll get another one when that one's paid off, right? So I'm not against financing. I think obviously when you have ways to take your money and put it other places to make money too, like that's how I look at things. Like, I like to have a lot of capital that I can deploy into my own business because I can make money fast than to like put all of it into cars. So the way I look at it is like I don't want to have a huge overhead of payments, but then I also don't mind having some. But then the interest rate and the dollar amount exactly, that's not what's making the decision. It's like all the other. That's how I've curated that way. It's like it was really thought about. Like this is the performance I want. So,
well, the landscaping of cars has completely changed.
Yeah.
Like back in your heyday, the landscape, the idea around buying a car, like you said, is when you had disposable income because it was looked at as a pure liability.
Yeah.
Today's day and age, these aren't looked at as liabilities.
No, you're right. You're right.
Because the demand has skyrocketed. Why has demand skyrocketed? The barrier to entry has never been lower.
Yeah.
So because of it, you have such a big buyer pool demand. So these cars become very selective. Like you and I literally battled over the 812 that's sitting in your garage right now because of the spec it is.
Right.
That's the only reason we battled over it. It's because of the freaking spec.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear that story? Talk a little about that story. Yeah. We won't say anything too deep into anything negative or positive, but basically, you guys
tell him I outbid you in the car and you lost it.
So if you guys know, it's funny. It's kind of something that we're talking about right now. So I have an 812. He has his 812. I was looking in the 812 market and I found an extremely high spec one at a dealership that's very known for having high specs, right? So me being a younger cat, I didn't have my financing in order. So I put a deposit down, said I'll get a day or so, I'll get my financing straight. Adam over here on the other end was also looking for a high spec 812, found the same one I did, except his financing was ready to go. So in the sweet moment of my deposit, his full wire, he swiped the car underneath me. And I had no idea what happened. I got a little pissed off. I said, okay, whatever. A week later, I see his Instagram story. I see an 812 getting off of a truck. And I read the little plate and I read the name of the dealership. I was like, there's no way this is my 812 coming off this damn truck. And I had to call him, and we had a huge laugh over it.
What are the chances, right?
What a small world.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. The fact that we're sitting here and looking at it right now.
Yeah, that's wild. That's super wild. But you guys are right. I mean, it is really, it's changing. I mean, I don't know where I stand on it. Am I happy that it's that way, or is it better? I mean, I guess it's better for holding value for those of us that have them or like that. It does lose a little bit of its prestige, though. I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah, there was a time when you saw one of those cars and everybody broke necks and it was a big deal, and it was like, oh, he must be somebody, or he made it.
Yeah.
In order to have that, it's lost that he made it. In fact, it has a different connotation. Now it's like, oh, he put a red stab. Or
Is he scamming people?
Yeah, right away.
Depending on what you have.
Yeah.
You have a Huracan, you're screwed.
Yeah,
If you have a Huracan trying to build a personal brand, forget about it. There's no shot you're going to do that.
Yeah.
It's each car has a little bit of its own NM.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's wild to even see like these guys upping it, right? Because it started at a Huracan, and then it went like the SVJ, and then it's a Bugatti now. It's like
it jumps.
all these dudes.
And now the Bugatti it's about to become Koenigsegg.
So I'm super curious to see if the rug's going to get pulled out, though. Like, it's only a matter. I mean, I don't know how many of these guys that you follow that are leasing their Bugattis on behalf of their business.
All of them.
And
We follow all of them.
let me tell you, I got a pretty badass CPA, and he's like, yeah, that's really fucking risky. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a hell of a stretch to make that. And I know that we live in an Instagram world, and you're putting it online, and you're making all that, you're making that bet. But I don't know, like IRS is the last person I want to fuck with.
Right.
Oh,
They've already set a precedence that that's not an option.
Yeah.
Because like they made Stradman sign. They made him give them lots of money.
Oh, they did?
Because he was writing off all of his cars under his business.
Yeah.
And depreciating them because, he was using them for content. And that's quite literally his business.
Sure.
So he was like, I can show you that when I buy this car, it created this much revenue for the video. And, I have everything to back it up.
Yeah.
It's much different than just going, oh, this is for marketing on social media for my coaching business.
Yes.
But, he had that sort of backing. This is literally for my business. I can show you the revenue results, all that stuff. And they were still like, no.
Yeah.
We understand why you thought that and the argument you're making, but we disagree. You owe us your write-offs, all of it.
And when you fuck with them, there's no they're gonna tax that shit on you for the rest of your life.
You're on the radar.
Oh yeah, no, I know people that have been hit by IRS, and I know several close friends that have been audited. You get audited, and you're shitting squeaky clean and tight. They will find whatever they want to find, and then they will attach it to your ass for the rest of your life. And even if you can't pay it out right then and there, like, you will be your wages will be garnished for the rest of your damn life until you pay that. And I think there's a lot of people playing that game right now. And because, I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day, because this facade of how wealthy and rich everybody is, I was like, dude, it's not true. You guys, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the stats on 20% of businesses only make it, right? 80% of entrepreneurs fail. It's only 20% make it. Of the 20% that make it, only 5% of those ever reach $1 million a year in revenue. Of that 5% that ever make it to that,
5% of 20%
only make it to making $1 million a year in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Of that 5%,
revenue,
making $1 million a year. Okay, not how you made it one time or accumulated over 10 years or you're grossing $1 million, but making $1 million a year cash flow. Okay, 5% of that 20. Of that 5%, only 0.4% ever make tens of millions of dollars. And in my opinion, owning a lot of these supercars or multiple or a Bugatti and stuff like that, I don't even own a Bugatti. Okay, I'm in that category. So it blows my mind when I see a lot of these people that are rolling around these cars, and I'm like, I've only met a handful of the people at my level in business, and I'm around a lot of those people.
Yeah.
And so how is this possible that all these young kids are at that level, unless they're playing some sort of a shell game that I think is going to come to an end at one point?
Oh, it absolutely will. It's leverage.
Yeah.
It's literally leverage.
Yeah, financing, what's a Chiron payment? Like 60 grand?
Yeah, 50, 60 minutes.
So you're talking about 60 grand on, for someone that makes 400 a month.
Yeah.
That's doable.
I mean, it's doable.
Is it the smartest move?
Fuck no.
Maybe, but it helps them continue to make 400.
Well, but it's all temporary because even those businesses, okay, these coaches, I'm going to call out all these guys. Or do you guys see you guys know who that guy? What's his name? Wes Watson.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know his Bugatti's up for sale, right?
It's up for sale.
Yeah.
Didn't he get arrested again?
Okay, so
He's back out. He's back out.
So,
He's back out.
and the reason why is because I think his ride is over. I think that whole game of all these cars, this live renting the $50,000 a month Miami house, the $60,000 Bugatti payment, and all the things like to act like you know how to coach people to build a business.
Right.
Worked for a couple years so you could play that game. And now more and more stuff has come out that he's terrible and he's never really built a real business. His entire business is on selling people on how to build a business, which is not really a business. And so it's coming to an end. So what he's got to do is he's got to sell his car, and he's so embarrassed to do it because he doesn't want to ruin his current cash flow. So then he makes a deal with the dealership to put different pictures on the website, and then just when somebody actually calls in the website, then connect them. You didn't see this whole thing that came out on him?
No, we missed this.
Oh yeah. So someone did a whole, that guy, I forget his name, that does like these exposés on these
Baller
people.
Busters?
Yeah, those are friends of mine, right? So them and somebody else busted him out, and
I love it.
so the way they did it was because the VIN number was on there. It was the VIN number. The VIN number didn't match the color of the Bugatti on there. The VIN number was actually his VIN number, and so he calls up and says, "Hey, why does this say that it's a red?" And I looked it up. It's this color. He's like, "Oh, it's because the person who's selling it, he's famous online. He doesn't want people to know. It's actually an orange Bugatti, and we have it. We can have it down here for you. We're selling it for $5.5 million. Blah blah blah." But he can't tell nobody that because then people are gonna be like, "What's going on? You gotta sell your Bugatti.
Right.
What's happening?" But yeah, $60,000 payment is starting to fucking catch up. Because the coaching ain't coming in like it used to come in.
Yeah, because everyone's on there like, oh, I spent this money and all he did was yell at me.
Yeah.
Well, the perception has completely changed. Like before, that used to be the perfect marketing scheme. Now it's a counter position now. If somebody's using that to market any offer, it is a negative completely.
Well, I think in my opinion, there's a difference between a business and a hustle, or even a company. I think there's a business, there's a company, and then there's a hustle, right? They're all different categories for me. Like you can hustle some money, especially on the internet today. Like, you get a lot of attention. You don't even have to be really good at anything, but if you convince people you're good at something, you could swindle a lot of money out of a lot of people.
Or it's a firework.
You're exactly right. Because and we built our company the complete opposite. It was so slow and gradual, and it was all off of referrals. It was off of literally changing people's lives and helping them, and them telling other people. No one knew where we're at, what we were doing. They didn't know much about us, but it was like we were impacting individuals' lives, and those individuals were. And you can tell, if you go to and not a lot of people care enough to do this, but if you go to our iTunes and look at our reviews, I think we're thousands and thousands of 5-star reviews, and they're not like, oh, they're great. It's like these people change, and then you just paragraphs of people that we've actually impacted their lives. So if you're somebody who's shopping a coach or shopping people, go look up their reviews and go look what people are saying, and that real quickly will tell you. And if they've got a handful of people that says them, they're probably their family members. It's like they're not getting real reviews, and they don't have thousands of them, and yet they're claiming to make millions of dollars. It's like if you're making tens of millions of dollars, you're going to have thousands of reviews by the time. At least we do. I mean, that's what happened for us. Was over time, it was hundreds, and then it was thousands, and that wealth is accumulated, and it's stacked, and it's built on each other. And if you come from a place of always trying to add value and being customer focused, and giving more, adding more value, then you got a real business on your hands. But if your business is teaching other people how to make a business, but you've never really built a business, and your whole way of doing that is by acting like you have a lot of money, so that people go, oh, he must be successful, and so I'm going to sign up for the $1,000 course. That's not a real business, and eventually that ends.
Because there's people that have legitimate businesses around that concept.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Who were we just talking about? I'm blanking.
Wes Watson.
No, not Wes Watson.
Strawman?
No, who you had on the podcast?
Tony?
Yeah, Tony.
Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you ever hear people talk about?
He's like a business life coach.
Yes, and have you ever heard people talk about? And he's got a great story on how he started. He started just by helping people, helping people for free and doing things for people, and just built that reputation over time. And then now people come to. I mean, I'm on year 10, or I'm over 10, 10 and a half years into this. I sell a trainer course. It's also accredited by national certifications, and it teaches trainers how to be good coaches and trainers. But that came after the millions and millions of dollars of helping people and training people for 2 decades. And then the natural progression was well, look at these businesses that I built that has nothing to do with training trainers or coaches on how to make money that I've done for 2 decades. Well, okay, now I can do that. And I don't have to market it or sell it or show my cars to get people to do that. In fact, if you guys haven't noticed, we keep all that separate from my business. Like none of my personal stuff is on the business because we don't want to convolute that. Like it's not, we're not using like my success to get you to buy any product from us. In fact, we think it was better for us to keep that quiet for a really long time. It was like, I don't want to come off like the little bit of money I made from my clients and turning right around and flaunting it. Like,
well, we know some other people that have said the same thing. Some other sort of, low key car owners.
Same thing about what coaches?
Just not showing their cars and their collections much on there. Like,
it's knowing your demographic, knowing your target audience.
Yeah, like my cars have nothing to do with helping people lose body fat.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So it has nothing to do with helping that. So then
it doesn't help you.
No.
So I mean, it could in this world. Like in this world, people are interested in that and they want to believe. Especially now that I'm in the business of teaching other people how to build their business and training.
Yeah.
So it does. In fact, we had an internal debate about this. I'm more likely to show that stuff than my partners. Even though I'm not likely to, I'm still more likely than they are. And I'm like, hey, at some point we have to admit we've done really well because people aren't going to trust us to teach them how to build their business if they don't know the truth about this business, because a lot of people have no idea. Like you don't know until you like lift up the hood, you show up to the place and you're like, holy shit, you guys have this many employees and full benefits and like you've been doing this for this long. And like then
is your car page private?
Huh?
Is your car page private?
It's not private, but my name's not attached to it.
It's super low key.
It is.
Can I say the name? I was
Yeah, you can.
Full compression. That's dude. Come on, that is the lowest of the level.
Yeah.
That's a if you know you know page.
Yeah, it was not. It was definitely not intended to. In fact, I just recently. I don't know if you heard me. I was like, I want to interact with this page because I do want to build car community around it.
Mm-hmm.
But originally I wanted to be anonymous about it because I didn't want it to be about me and my business or anything to do with it because it's nothing to do with that. But I love cars and I like meeting people that are into cars. And I'm such an idiot because I know what it takes to build a community. You have to engage and interact with them. And so I was trying not to engage and interact, yet still kind of build this car community. I was like, of course I know better. And so I've started to talk a little bit more on it. But I really want to keep it out of my personal life. And it's my hobby. And I want to connect with other guys and dudes and girls or whatever that are into cars too. But I don't have any desire to use it as leverage to try and make me any more money or anything. Like I don't want to do that at all. So.
What would you say the average age and demographic of the people that enter your program are?
Oh well, we have everything, bro. I mean,
average it out.
Well, average is probably
the best you can.
Yeah. So 35 to 45 is my average because those are most people that listen to podcasts, and 35 to 45 are the most affluent.
Well, that's just spot on. That's part of the people forget about this. Like even just business in general. You have to understand your audience and your demographic before you can do anything. You are marketing to 35, 45-year-olds. They don't care about your 48. 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds care a little bit more about that stuff because
they're also the worst market, by the way.
They are, 100%.
They don't have the money to spend.
That's right.
They look at it and they go, okay, I'm 18 right now. I want that tomorrow. What is the fastest way I can get that? And then you have somebody that has one that's telling them, hey, I will get you here in 2 months.
That's why it works because they're that young, they're that naive.
Correct.
And that's all it takes is someone to show them. I mean, I've even seen it, like it wasn't until some people found out about that car that they went, bro, congrats, you made it. Like, bro, I made it a long fucking time ago. This is just, I'm doing this now because of where I'm at in my life, but.
I've been watching Supercar Connection for a while. I thought I'd get skin in the game.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, there is that perception though, like until people saw, even people close to me. I have a lot of people that just now because of the cars. But I remember when the SVR was like one of the first expensive cars that people within my business saw us purchase. It was like one of the worst things that ever happened. Like every one of my employees hit me up the next fucking week for raises. Like, oh, the boss is buying a sick car. Like we must be making way more money. And so it's like, it just doesn't work that way. It's like I had money before we started this business, but your employees see that and then they think, oh, well then I should be getting also raises. And so that's a tough spot to be in when you're running an actual company with lots of employees that you take care of, and
You're
so
an actual boss.
yeah,
Because info products, you can make 80% margin. You have no team. You have back end little
Yeah.
digital products. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You don't need anybody. You don't have to worry about envy within your own company. Things that actually build you being a boss and have to manage people. It's a completely different skill set.
yeah.
Completely.
I mean, we've pretty much, since all the cars, I've pretty much turned over most of my staff. So what's good now is almost everybody that almost everybody that works for me now has come on after a lot of the stuff. And so it's like they knew that was part of the game before. So early on, it was tough because we kept it so low key and we kept it tight, and we put a lot of money back in the business and not on ourselves, that once we started to spend a little money on ourselves, like everybody was like, oh, what the fuck? Where's my piece? You know? And so that was a challenge. And so you end up losing a lot of those people. So I'm not a fan of flaunting, showing all that stuff. If you're actually running a company with a lot of people, it doesn't normally work to your favor. It works good on Instagram and for
It's a great retirement option.
yeah.
Sell the business, buy the cars.
No, for sure.
So I have a question that I've been dying to ask.
Yeah.
You have the GT3 RS and the GT4 RS.
Yes.
Those cars have essentially the same engine. Yeah, that's the whole point of the
Exact same engine. The only difference is the GT4 RS is mid-engine, GT3 RS is rear engine, and the GT4 RS is a tad bit smaller.
Right, but same engine, same powertrain, same heart. Beats the two cars. I guess what's the difference in the driving experience? What do you prefer?
I prefer the GT3 all day.
Really?
Yeah. It feels more masculine to me.
Is that it?
No, it doesn't. No, so I've tracked them both.
Mm-hmm.
And the GT3 RS swings around corners. The GT4 RS pivots around corners, which depending on your driving style or what you like better. I like the fact that it swings, the GT3. I like that. And it's weird to think that you're talking about like inches difference.
Sure.
But it feels like the ass is so much bigger. It feels way bigger and wider. I mean, it has wider tires, it has a wider base, and so it feels
all the weight's back there.
Yeah, and all the weight's back there, so it swings and it feels like you get this big ass that swings around the corners. It has a total different sound. Some people really like the induction sound of the GT4 RS. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my Acura Integra with my air intake. So it brings back like cheap car.
Cheap memories.
Cheap memories. So like, I don't like that. Some people think it's the almost awesome thing of hearing that induction right by your
crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know if you ever saw these videos. In fact, I actually just recently reposted the GT4 RS. But flying by, my wife's car sounds better than mine outside. Flying by the GT4, but I also have headers, full race exhaust on that, and this just has like a soul and muffler delete. So hers sounds better outside from other people.
Mm-hmm.
I think the GT3 RS has a deeper roar to it and less induction like the GT4 RS. And they handle different. They look different. I think they're, as much as they're a lot alike, they're actually really different in my opinion. I don't like driving hers that much. I don't care for that.
So when the GT4 RS stock, when you're revving it up like that last 1,000 RPMs, it's like the whole pitch of the exhaust changes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Does it lose that with the whole setup you have going, or does it still keep that?
Oh yeah, no, that thing screams, and as it gets up to 9,000 RPMs, it's a visceral experience in that car. The GT4 RS, in my opinion, is one of the more underrated cars. I think if you had a budget, talking about how we talk about Corvette stuff like that, I think it's right up there with that kind of budget. It should be in the choice.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're more of a Corvette guy, you're going to lean that way. If you're more of a Porsche guy, you're definitely going to go GT4. I think
What's the budget in your head that you're saying? 200?
No, that car is at 200 something, but you can get a GT4 RS without all the bells and whistles for like a lot less than that.
What's a lot less?
Like 170, 160 range.
Okay.
Yeah, right. You can find a GT like the engine.
165. The last because I was helping someone look for one a month ago. 165 was like literally the cheapest one on the market. It had 16,000 miles and like no options.
Yeah.
You're
not getting that one like that.
No. The 180s. Yeah. 180s was like healthy, cheap side of things.
Yeah.
Anything under 180 that was like few and far between, it was on higher mileage, which there's not any.
But if you're on a budget and you want the driving experience, the mag wheels, the Y-Sock package, the cool interior spec, none of that matters.
You're looking at a 4RS or you're looking at a GT3, like a 991.2 GT3, not RS.
Oh, okay.
That's the price. That's what the.
I would still get the GT3.
That's the Porsche.
Yeah, I'd still get the GT3. That's for the masculine fat ass.
Or if it's a McLaren,
yeah.
you're going 600 LT.
600. I think that's right. Another one of the more underrated cars. In fact, I know guys that have owned all the 765, the 720, and the 600, and they think the 600 is the best car. I think it's the most reliable. You could tune those the fuck out too.
You can build them out.
You know, you guys know Isaac. You know, I don't know if one of the guys in their rally group that's had that thing tuned to like it's a rocket. Yeah. So those, and it's, you know, the exhaust is right behind you, so it sounds cool.
That's one of the most elite experiences.
It is cool. That's a cool car. I think the 600 LT is up there. Like if we were to do a list of like underrated cars, I think 600 LT is there. I think GT4 RS is there. I'll give you your Corvette up there. CT5 Blackwing is up there. I think those are all very underrated cars.
It's funny because that's usually the question people struggle with the most that we ask them. What's the most underrated car? It's always like, wow, that's a tough one. And you're like, I can sit here and rip them off.
Well, I mean, this is where I guess I am a car guy. It's like I've been around a lot of cars. I've owned a handful, but I've been around a lot, and I have a lot of friends that have had a lot of cars, and so I've sat in a lot or driven a lot or whatever. And I have a little bit of track experience. I have a little bit of coaching from people. I've got a little bit of a diversification in it, and so. Depending on what you were to tell me as a buyer, like what you want, I feel like I can point you in a good direction of a model car. And that's where it's like, it's less about the camps for me. It's like, what do you like to do? You know, and I know you're more of a canyon driver. And so like if you like stuff like that, that's why a GT4 RS or GT3 RS is badass. You know, 600 LT is also too. So I know that's why it's like your favorite. Those cars are great for something like that.
Yeah, I really want the 600 LT because I feel like it does the canyons. And also the spirited well.
Yeah, there's both.
Because I like spirited.
Yeah, what is your?
I like spirited and white knuckle, and
yeah.
I can't afford a whole garage of things. So for me, it's like, okay, it's going to be one car. So the 600 LT, I feel like, is my fit.
What is if you guys were to look at the way you drive, the type of driving you do? What is the most common way you drive your cars?
I'm a cruiser, spirited.
Yeah.
I rarely go white knuckle drive.
Yeah, no, you're the freeway guy that wants to smoke.
I'm spirited, white knuckle. I'm rarely cruising.
Yeah, you're more like me. That's me. Like I like that feeling. There's
like
to
cruising
me
is the last priority I care about.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'll tell you something. I haven't heard anybody talk about this on your show yet. Hands down, if you haven't done this yet, the dopest car experience I've yet to have in my life. Just told my wife the other day I want that to be my annual birthday present every year. Is a Porsche experience.
Really?
Fucking so badass. And I've done other tracks, and I've done Vegas, Sonoma. I've done other stuff. Porsche experience is sick.
You went to Pecla, or is there one up here?
LA. Down in LA. Yeah.
You were in Carson?
Mm-hmm. Bro, that experience surprised the shit out of me how fucking fun that was. I did the GT4 RS and GT3 RS there. And I didn't know what it was going to be like. I paid for both those cars, and I think it's how many hours did I have? 4 or 6 hours. It was a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a decent amount. I think it was 4 hours. I think that we had with them. And I saw the cars first kind of drive around, and everyone was kind of driving kind of weak, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be lame. You know, I was like, what am I going to get? What's it going to be like? And we go and we get in with the driver right away, and you get a pro driver who gets in with you and kind of like, he's asking, do I know? So like, oh, I own 2 of these, so I know. And say, oh, cool, we can get right to this shit then, okay? I'm gonna get mine, follow me, we'll go. And he gives you a little 2-way radio where he's or 1-way, he's just talking to you, you can't even talk to him. And he's basically giving you coaching. And it's like, he tells me, he goes, we'll go as fast as you can handle. So if I feel like I'm starting to gap you, I'll slow up and wait for you. Or if you want to slow down, just slow down, and I'll naturally slow down. You want to push it, we'll push it. And so I'm going to coach you through this whole process. And they have all kinds of things you could do. They can do the kick plate, you can do the donut area, and you get to choose what you want to do. I wanted to track. So I did it all, but I was like, let's just track. And so I tracked until I was tired. I mean, I was literally sweating and like, I need a break, I need water, I need to take a break. And and I'm sure this matters. Like I got a good coach. I'm sure you could get a shitty coach and maybe it's less of an experience. But this dude was so good. He's in a Turbo S, okay, and I'm trailing him. And I'm like, I told myself on this track day, because like I've had some other track experiences where I'm like mad at myself. God, you're a pussy. Why don't you get after it? Like it's somebody else's car. The whole point of you going hard is not your car, right? So it's like that. So I'm like, I'm going hard. First fucking turn, I spin out completely. And he's like, oh shit, hold on. Ease into the throttle. He's like coaching me right away. I'm like, okay, that was a little much, right? But that's my point is I'm getting after it that day. And every corner, he's coaching me, watching me in the rear mirror as I'm chasing him, giving me like subtle cues. You know, where the apex is, that was a little too soon, a little too late, less brake, more throttle, less of that. And like just every turn, and I'm doing it for hours. So like every lap, every turn, I'm getting a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And you're also doing it while other people are on there. So it's like kind of competitive a little bit. It was like, okay, I don't want anybody to be able to pass me. And there's like etiquette, right? So if someone comes up on your ass, like your guy he'll say, move to the right, let him pass. And you move to the right and you let him pass by. And so I'm like, nobody's passing us today, right? So like that was the goal. No one fucking, we lapped everybody multiple times.
Let's go.
Yeah, and he gets out and he's like, bro, we were smoking by the end of that. And I'm like, my heart is pounding, goosebumps all over me. Like that was the dopest experience I've ever had. It was so valuable. I felt like obviously I'm nowhere near a pro driver, but I felt like I gained so much in such a short period of time. And the adrenaline rush that I got, also to experience 2 different cars in the same day like that, like what the difference, to really push the limits on both, and like having to own both of them, and then also be able to see what it looks like on the track. Like, what a cool experience. I'm so sold that I'm doing that every year. It was better than, I've done other ones where the guy is in the car with you and he has his own brakes and shit like that to keep you in check in case you don't do it very well, and like, stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, that's all right. And you do like 8 laps, it's over. Mm-hmm. You paid like $400 and you're done in literally 8 minutes. Like I have 4 hours, dude. He's like, he constantly asked me after, you need a break? Like I had to take breaks because.
Do you remember how much 4 hours was?
He paid $1,600. Yeah,
okay.
Worth every penny.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
Oh, bro, it's terrible. When you think about that, I paid $400 or $500 for 8 laps, which was literally 8 minutes, which was the last thing I did in Vegas. Or $1,600 for 4 hours, or roughly that, something like that. I mean, it doesn't even come close. I mean, I can't even count how many laps I got to do.
Well, Vegas caters to the people that are like, "Oh, we're here.
Yes.
Let's do this."
Yeah, just a bunch of weekend guys that are like.
Right. It's like renting a jet ski in Miami for $200 an hour or something.
Yeah.
It's like.
That's a fair analogy. And and Porsche really is the enthusiast, and but I didn't know it was gonna be like that. I mean, it was. Way better than I could have ever imagined it was going to be, and I don't think I would ever do any of the other driving experiences again after doing that. Like that will be like the thing. And if you've never done it, put it on your list because
I'm sold.
Yeah, it's and you can do other shit also. So they have this huge donut area that they keep the water all wet, and you just rip donuts, And I remember the first time I did that, it was like I kept spinning out, I kept getting frustrated. I'm like, you know what? He's like, you want me to do it real quick? I'm like, yeah, let me watch you. If I watch you, and then I watched him, and then like instantly picked it up, and then like just drifting around in the corners and stuff. So to do that, the kick plate, they have a drag strip that you can do, and again, you pay for this time with this driver, and he's like, you can use it however you want. We can do the fucking kick plate all day if you want to, or we can do laps, and that's all we do. It's like, so I kind of did a little bit of everything at first, and then I just spent the rest of the time just tracking and pushing and yeah, dude, such a good experience.
Man, that sounds so fun.
You have to, like, especially if you like white knuckle driving. Like, it's the ultimate, in my opinion, to do it, because when I go with my buddies over like these back country roads we go, and I'm chasing other pro drivers like that, like, and it's like the roads, you got dips, holes.
It's different.
It's a little
like
it puckers the ass up the same, but it's not, it's not the same.
I feel like white knuckle driving in like the mountains and canyons. It's still at the end of the day like I'm pushing a 7 on my comfort.
Totally.
On my comfort level. Not even like I'm pushing the car 7 out of 10. I'm pushing my comfort 7 out of 10.
100% is like. Have you guys done any rallies? Oh, you just did a rally up right now. How was your fuel run?
Fuel was nice.
Yeah.
Did you guys come up with Rami too, or was it a separate group? Was it with him and everything?
Yeah, we were literally with him. Like I was passing him. We were the front little group, so we were just ripping.
Yeah, we were the very front. Like he put us right at the front. We pulled in, and he's like, hey, just park right here. And he's like, if you pull over there, dude, there's gonna be 100. You're gonna be stuck behind everyone. He's like, just go right here, right behind Joe. Joe's gonna pull off first. So he put us right at the front. So we just kind of like we were in like the front, like 10 cars.
How many were rolling with you guys? Was it deep?
Like
it was pretty deep. Yeah, it was 100 cars.
Oh shit,
it was deep.
It was very deep.
Oh, that was way deeper than when I did the fuel run.
Yeah. Well, Fred brought his what is that? I don't even know what I'm saying.
His Marlboro car.
Yeah. Whatever that thing is.
Yeah, those are all one-offs, dude. Like those cars are.
I don't think that thing's street legal. Whatever he was.
It is. It's a one-off marble like race car. There's only like 4 of them made, and like
it looks bananas.
So it was.
I was behind that, like through the canyons. I had him right in front of me, And then I had Limitless Rob in the Storado behind me.
Yeah.
But I was just following him. I'm like, I can't get too close because I can't afford to rear in this car.
Yeah, that's like a couple amps. Right?
It sounded so good.
And he was in that. It was in the STO or in the S class.
STO.
STO. Then you had myself in the A12. You had the Pet Fred and whatever that thing is. Our boy Rob with the Strato. Choi brought his P1 out, and that was
his new one.
Sending it. Yeah, we were bending corners at 130, just sending that thing.
Oh wow!
So it was a nice rip up, and then we went to a nice little place, San Luis Obispo, had a good little lunch, talk, and then just absolute send.
Did you take one the whole way up?
No, we were canyon. Yeah, we were canyon driving it.
One was closed.
There's a section of it.
Just up here when you get up towards Big Sur.
Oh, you're talking about down low?
Yeah.
No, we went
5 for a while, then cut over.
We went
everywhere, man. We were bouncing through places.
We went up through like Ojai.
Yeah.
And then across down through Santa Barbara, and then up through San Ynez and stuff.
Okay. There's a famous road back over there, and I can't think of the name of it right now that I've done. It's like one of my favorite drives. God, it's slipping me right now. I have a group, so those guys are all tied to a lot of my friends. So my wife's one of her best friends used to date Pet Fred. My buddy Mike, where my Camaro is parked, is really good friends with Raw. Like and we've done field runs together. So they're tight with that whole community. And some of my old guys that I hang out with up here are old like biker guys, and so they've biked all over the country. And those dudes are like they know like every road. And so some of the other fun times that I've had, or what I think is some of the best times for me driving, is like little rallies that we put on ourselves, just 6-7 car deep, 3 days, and we plan out like we literally have the whole thing mapped out. Everybody's got walkie talkies, and you have places that and they're always like 45-minute. Hour max legs, and all the best back roads, like nobody on them. And you're ripping back canyons and tunnels, and that
describes exactly what I think we want to do.
I love that.
Yeah, exactly that.
Well, what we should do is we should take all of our relationships and connections and put a rally like that together. Like it would be, and who cares if it's? I actually think it's better not to try and go crazy big. I wouldn't do it for the money and try and make anything of it.
Sure. Simplicity.
Yeah, literally easy.
Enjoyment, community.
We're about to do one.
Our network together and then still keeping it under like 20 cars. Is that going to be possible?
Yeah. You can make it. You could easily make it that possible. You don't have to tell everybody first of all. Just tell people we like.
Because I think literally I think you'd want to I think under 20 cars is like ideal.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like the 8 to 12 cars is like perfect. It's enough of a presence, too much and you get lost, and you actually have like different separate groups, and
I attract way more attention.
Yeah, you don't need to be that way.
The cops were out.
On
top of that,
you always got to have one guy with the radar, right? You got to have a guy with the radar who's like.
And they know it's Monterey, obviously.
Yeah.
Like they know it's.
They were bad last year.
So they know the whole way up. They know from LA to Monterey.
Bro, we're bringing dollars in the city. What are we doing?
Stupid.
Come on.
It's so dumb. I mean, granted, you're doing some asshole shit, like you deserve it. But I mean, it's like last year they were pulling people just to pull people. Right. They're getting people from mods.
State reffing. Yes. That's my part.
Yeah.
Like I could never have a modified exhaust with people who do.
I feel like it's so difficult today because it's like people come in from all over.
Yeah.
Even you pull over a Montana plate. One, they could actually be from Montana.
Right.
Which probably not, but they could be.
Yeah.
2, I mean, there's a good chance that they have a Montana plate that they live in another state. So what are you doing then? It's like if they were from Florida and have a Montana plate.
So
good luck. You can't do anything about it.
You never know. I mean, I just got a ticket in the A12 last week. It sucked. It was a CHP got me. I was coming on. It was like such a shitty situation. Like it was right over where 85 merges with 101, and I chose to pass this guy on the right lane that was disappearing, and because the lane was disappearing, I gunned it. Probably got up to like 95, close to 100 or whatever, and it's right when the freeways came together, and like as I'm passing this car, it's the CHP right to my left, and it just drifted right behind me. He had a guy that he was training too, so it's like I literally knew it was done. I was like, "Oh, you're training someone today?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm probably not getting out of this, am I?"
You're an example of that.
Yeah, he was cool though. Like I mean, he wrote me down for like 75, and we both knew I was way over that. But still, it was just like I had a ticket in a long time, so I don't drive like an asshole on main roads like that. I say that I have to drive them for like backcountry stuff.
In the A12 too.
I call it selective speeding.
Yeah.
I haven't been pulled over in legitimately 12 years.
Wow. That's a good run.
I'd love to say it's because I don't speed, but I really think I'm just smart about it.
No, I think that before this, I was probably on a run like that long. I can't remember. I mean, I haven't had a ticket since I was damn near a kid. So I don't remember the last time I got pulled over. Oh, yeah, the last time I got pulled over. What a funny story. I was in the SVR. So I was commuting to work, and I was in the commuter lane by myself, watching TV with my tinted blocked out front windows and Nevada plates. And bike cop literally pulls up to me while I'm still watching TV. I don't even know he's looking at me. You know, like, because it's like traffic, it's slow, you know what I'm saying? So if everybody freaks out, fuck off, you know? So it's like hella slow, I'm watching. And he like looks over at me, kind of head nods, and then pulls me over. I'm like, CHP cop too, and a bike cop. It's like, I'm fucked. So license registration, he's like, you know you're in commuter lane, tinted windows, Nevada plates. It's just like listing everything. Like, yeah. And I hand him license. Now, luckily, this was before the M8, so that car was leased under Mindpump. And he comes walking back after about 5 minutes. He goes, Mindpump, fitness podcast? I go, yeah. He's like, have a nice day. I went, oh my God, yes.
Nice.
Yes. The other guy did not know who fucking Mindpump was, so I got a ticket for sure. But that was like, that was probably gonna be the worst thing I ever got. I'm like, I don't know how many things I'm gonna get nailed for right here. The guy was super cool, let me off. The second guy was like, no, I'm training this kid today, I can't let you off.
Yeah, you always see carpool, minimum fine, $471 or whatever. So specific, the minimum fine for the carpool.
Yeah.
I actually need a bit of your help.
Let's hear it.
So I'm finally think I'm gonna be able to get enter my collector era like yourself.
Okay.
You gotta stop saying my collector era.
It's part of what I want to do.
I haven't heard him say that. That's
I'm entering my collector era.
I move off of cars, and now I'm finally able. Instead of moving off them, I'm starting to be able to add.
I figured that's what all this shit to the A12 was. Like, I know he's not gonna get his money out of that shit.
Right. No, exactly. So like the A12 is here to stay.
My guy loves that car.
Yeah, I love that car.
I do too.
So now I'm adding a second car.
Okay.
So like my whole thing is the A12 does a lot for me, but it doesn't scratch that. I guess you could call it more the white knuckle driving itch that I have.
Yeah.
Because I'll take that car out. It's fun. It's nice, and mine's tuned and it's crazy. It spits fire. It's fun. But I need something I can send. Right. Here's the thing, though. Okay, and this is part of the problem. So I'm stuck between two cars right now, and I'm not gonna lie to you.
One of them you talk too much shit about. That's why you're stuck. Or else you wouldn't be stuck right now.
No, I'm dead center. Like I'm not leaning towards. Like I'm right in the middle of these two cars. The problem is
He'll do it.
I will do. Oh, absolutely.
If there's one thing he'll do it.
I'll send it. I
Regardless of how much.
So I know one of them. I already know one of them is the
point.
GT3 RS because you're an idiot if it's not. So
Yes.
one of them is that. What's the
Yes.
other car?
720S Spider.
You already had that.
Spider A and
Okay,
B.
convertible.
Okay. Here's the biggest thing. So your biggest thing, and I'm gonna put both of you in this box, okay? Because I feel like it's gonna be a 2-on-1 when it comes to this.
Okay.
You guys are the white knuckles driving, correct?
Yeah.
Porsche in your world is the ultimate white knuckle driving car. I disagree with you. I think McLaren can do everything that Porsche does, white knuckle driving, better. Every single aspect that you guys like.
You want me to tell you what's different about them?
Go ahead,
I've done
please.
both, and I've had both in, and I've also had race car driver buddies in both with each other in rallies and done all. And we've had this talk. Where the McLaren makes up because of the twin turbo, it comes out of the corners and it catches it, but it does not take corners and turns as good as the GT3 RS. I don't give a fuck what you think. Yes, the all-wheel drive makes it one of the best cornering cars you can. And let me tell you, if I race a car in Podium 1 on the racer, I'm using a McLaren because I can move faster in that car, but not in real life. In real life, the GT3 RS feels like it's more on rails when you go into a corner. You can send it more. So if you want to send, you can send that car and feel safer than the McLaren. The McLaren is like, it's darty. It takes the corners really good and it comes out really fast. But then if you were to put the two of them on a Nürburgring where there's lots of turns, and I know you hate the Nürburgring example, but let me tell you why that's one of the best examples, is that is the ultimate example of the ultimate canyon driving, white knuckling thing you could do is the Nürburgring. Has all kinds of pits, dips, turns, left, right, snakes, everything you could want on that track.
12 miles.
Yes, on that track. And so it's the ultimate expression of the best handling, best balanced horsepower car. McLaren's faster on a straight end. And so if you and I were driving it, and let's say we were equal in our skills, I would take you in the corners, you would catch me in the straights, and we'd be probably neck and neck. And I rather have the exhilarating feeling of cornering with my foot on the gas all the way, and not you, where you're going to have to brake really hard, turn, and then you're really hard on the gas, and then your turbo kicks in. Like there's a different feeling. And if you want to send it type of feeling, GT3 RS is going to be better for you. That's my opinion.
Sending it type of feeling.
Yeah.
Man, when you send it, and it's been a minute since I've driven the 720 now at this point. Is the 750 that much faster?
Not insane.
Or
It's a little bit. It is.
Did you see it smoke the ZR1 the other day?
Yeah, on the dig?
Yeah.
On the dig?
Yeah.
I don't know how staged that was.
I don't know either, but boy, the ZR1 got a jump. The ZR1 got a jump, and then the 750 gobbled it up before the quarter mile.
Have you driven a 750?
No.
Oh my!
That car's crazy.
Literally, I mean, you don't have to know.
I've been in my buddy's 765 LT.
Okay.
So that thing is.
So you don't have to know how to drive at all. If you just are pretty much at a stop where you're rolling in a 750 and just put the pedal to the floor.
Yeah.
It feels like you're in a time machine.
Yeah.
It
defies reality.
Stupid.
Yeah. I mean, the all-wheel drive, it locks up, it grabs so good and takes off. That's what makes that car so sick. Like it is. I mean, it's the ultimate pull up to the light next to a guy and you're going to gobble up 99% of all cars.
Which
is also what makes the Turbo S like so badass too, by the way. Which because the Turbo S is going to do that.
But I feel like the Turbo S doesn't you don't feel the speed.
No, you're right.
As much.
It's a different feel.
Like it
it's
takes
way
off.
Too numb.
Yeah, it takes off like the same way, but then like you don't like feel it in your chest.
Yeah.
The 750, it's like when you hit 90 from 0 in literally 2 seconds. Your heart's like.
My definition of the feeling of the S720 to me is like a combination of the GT3 and my 488.
Yeah.
So it gives you the like it's on rails, not quite as good as the G3, but more like it than the 488 is. And it has that crazy piss missile feeling like my 488 has, but even better because it's all-wheel drive and it locks up better from a dig. Now on a freeway, I'm going to get it, but on like in a dig, the 720 is going to get that car.
You think you're getting a 720?
That's an 800 wheel horsepower car, bro. I will gobble it up. I've already ate them up. On a freeway where we're already driving, I will eat it up.
I might have to
especially on those thicker, wider, nice tires on those Michelins.
I might have to see that one.
Until I got those Michelins, actually I was like, this is a waste of horsepower. I would literally be doing 80 miles an hour, and the back end would come out from underneath me.
In third gear.
I was like, this is stupid. It's not even fun. Like, but once I put the new Michelins on there, like, okay, those grab and they go. And yeah, no, I'm gonna eat it alive. Eat it alive on the freeway. Now on a dig, it's like that all wheel's gonna lock up. I'm gonna spin. You're gonna get me for sure. But again, like how you're using it. I mean, you want something that's a piss missile on the freeway. That thing is nasty as fuck, bro. And straight pipe that sounds crazy. Like, that thing is crazy fun.
You got to judge a car based on its potential. Because a basic stock 488.
Yeah,
it's not as good.
It's not it.
Yeah, that's fair. You can't. You're totally. But I mean, I'm saying how I think of a 720. I compare it to my 488 to a GT3 RS combo. Mm-hmm. Which is a huge compliment. I mean, that's a great combo. If you're looking at one car, and you want almost as good of a GT3R coming around the corner, but you want the straight line power better than a 488, I mean, that's a 720S in my opinion. So that's a great car, but it ain't as good as the GT3 RS around the corner. Just as
around the corner. That's it.
Around the corner.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
And you're right. No, you're right. It is absolutely that. And
that's
so
the purpose of the car.
I mean, I live off of Hecker Pass. So you come out here, one of the dopest backcountry roads to Highway 1 is my backyard. I picked this house partially because that's my favorite drive to Highway 1, take my wife to breakfast almost every Saturday. And so when I'm driving that drive, that's the car I want. Because I can't even use that 488 to its fullest capacity, but that thing I can step on it all the way and I can still feel like I got control of it, where I'm always fluttering the gas with the 488. Because at any time, if I give it too much,
you're gone.
Oh yeah, gone.
Let me throw a wrench into this, okay? Because now a third car, a wrench. Sorry. Third car is in the mix now.
Okay.
ZR1.
No, dude, you can't compare those.
Why?
I love the ZR1.
Hold on.
Okay, you still have the A12, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So 720S.
Okay.
ZR1 or ZR1X. Let's say ZR1X.
You do know that it's still that ZR1. They already did the Newbring. Couldn't get the GT3 RS.
ZR1X. That's why I'm saying ZR1X now.
Even with all
it's
that.
Still.
Well,
so
think about
when that comes out, they'll get a GT2. The new GT2 RS is going to smoke.
I'm not paying $700,000.
Hey, they ran the ZR1X. They run them both.
Yeah, they didn't do it. They did not beat the GT3 RS Nürburgring. It's already out.
What?
The time is out.
No,
granted,
time out.
it's already.
We're not going to falsify on the podcast.
We're not.
The ZR1X beat the GT3 RS.
No.
Yes, it did.
No.
It beat it by like 3/10.
It beat it by more than 3/10 of a second. It beat it.
It beat it by like 3/10 of a second.
It did beat it. The ZR1X. Pull it up.
Fact check your ass.
Fact check my ass. This is my show, baby.
Fact
check my ass on my show.
I could have sworn I was going to send it to your ass. I'm pretty sure. I think I had it ready in my DM.
The ZR1, look, and ready, but the best part, their own engineers. They didn't take professional drivers.
So that's what I was going to give you. So what I was going to give you was they haven't even had like a pro driver do it. And you guys follow, what's his name? Misha? The guy who drives everybody, like he drives everybody's cars on Nürburgring. All he does is drive Nürburgring. You guys never seen him? Oh my God. You want to fun? Gavin, have you seen him? No. I can get lost in watching him drive. Like,
I think I have seen him.
You have to have seen him.
You have
to have seen him. He's viral. He's everywhere. And all he does is drive the Nürburgring. He's driven every model 100 times on that track. You can pay him to take your car there and him race it around the Nürburgring and take you. And so he actually broke down the ZRX drive and actually said that based off of like his knowledge of every error they made, because he actually took their breakdown and went, he entered too late here, braked too soon here. He could have got an extra 5 miles an hour. Like he literally took the whole thing and broke down and said easily could have knocked off like 20 seconds.
Which
20?
That's what he said.
I was going to say 5 to be safe.
Yeah, I believe it was 20. It was a lot. It was quite a bit. It was quite a bit more than what I was expecting. But that's a pro driver versus a fucking engineer.
That's the biggest thing. So the ZR1, because I don't think the ZR1.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, that's it. Let me hear it.
ZR1X, which first off, Adam, I love you. I'm glad we're friends now. I have to say it, or else people are gonna give us a hard time.
Okay.
Nürburgring.
Oh, Nürburgring. Nice. How'd I say it?
Nürburgring.
You were saying Nürburgring.
Nürburgring. No.
It's Nürburgring.
It's German. It's
Nürburgring.
Yeah.
Nürburgring. We know how to say it, all right?
That's a clip.
We're not crazy. There's been lots of clips. Okay, all right. Time.
Yeah.
I'm right, so go ahead. Just say it, please.
The 992 GT3 RS did 649.328.
649. Okay. What did the other one do?
649.275.
Oh my God.
So literally like a tenth of a second.
With a 500 more horsepower?
More than double the horsepower. 700 more horsepower.
That's the part that's a knock on it, bro. It's not a positive.
It's 1200 horsepower.
No.
It's double the horsepower, and it literally can
more than double.
But horsepower does not matter in this realm. We entered.
It does still.
Yes, it does. No, it doesn't.
Let me tell you what it meant.
We entered your realm.
So, okay, let's go back to how this conversation started. Okay, well, I'm going to help you out here. Okay, you asked me about sending it. We're talking about corners. That car can't even be a car that it has fucking 700 more horsepower than. The only reason why it came close or barely beat it was the straights. It fucking caught way up, but it got gobbled in every turn. So if you want to feel a turn like you've never felt a turn, you drive a GT3 RS. It is on rails, and nothing will compare to it, and that's the proof. And even your 1200 horsepower fucking Corvette.
The
question was, I need a second car to.
How many years later?
My driving niche, my white knuckle niche.
And wait till the new one comes out too.
Niche.
My white knuckle need is what I need. That's what I need.
So
it's not about just the corner. I need to be able to send the car. So it's cornering. How fast does it come out? How does it handle?
I mean,
overall.
Back to my original point of like my buddies that are like all drivers, right? They say that the perfect amount of horsepower for a car is 550 horsepower. That's usable. That's almost every in my little circle. I don't know everybody, but every pro driver I've ever met says that 550 horsepower is like the ideal amount of horsepower.
What it comes down to is your driving style. 720 is what you want. Just telling you. You can go drive a GT3 RS, but how you like to drive and what you enjoy in a car, the GT3 RS will never deliver that.
Yeah, what you won't like that even I don't like. So I don't like when I have some demon pull up on me on the GT3 RS, or I have some car that actually has some straight line power and we're already doing 60 miles an hour. I'm not getting them. And then I'm like, follow me home so I can go in my 488 and we'll see what's up. You know? So you won't even catch me getting on it like that on the freeway because I know I'll get pumped.
Yeah,
you won't like that. You definitely won't. If you do a lot of freeway driving and you like to punk people like that, you're not going to like that. So I got gobbled up by a Plaid the other day too. I was like, that's not fun.
Oh, those are cheap. That's
even you like he's more of the like what you described coming out of the turn, like being able to accelerate hard out of the turn, that's you.
Yeah, so then that's it. So then the ZR1 would be a decent car. The 720 is probably the best car for you, though, for that reason. I mean, when I take, so I have one of those crazy podium ones, like the crazy ones, and I race the McLaren on there. It's the best car on there. It's the only one. I do better on that in the McLaren than I do in the GT3 RS.
Do you think it's because on the podium, like you're able to push the McLaren harder than?
It's because I make up on the straights, because I'm nowhere near a pro driver's level on entering a corner and apex and everything like that. And in order to maximize GT3's cornering, to like maximize it to where it could keep up with a car with that much more horsepower and a turbo, like you got to be able to do that. And I'm not that good of a driver on the podium to do that. So I can make up with it on the McLaren. And so on that game, I'm better. But in real life, I would rather feel I don't care that I didn't enter the corner at perfect. I want to feel like I'm throttling it through and I'm still hanging on to the car. And I got it. And that car gives me that.
It's just sending.
Let me ask you this. If they go back with professional drivers and they do beat it by 20 seconds, does that change your entire...
20 seconds?
He just said that they broke it down and it was potentially 20
seconds.
Yeah,
it could be. No, it still wouldn't change that for me.
Could be 20 seconds.
That's what he said.
I have to look it up.
So your whole, it made it up on the straights. If they beat it by 20 seconds...
Bro, it's a fucking 7-minute drive, bro. 20 seconds is with 700 more horsepower. It's a whole other car.
It's a huge gap.
Yeah, but it's also
20 seconds is massive.
It is
on that track.
I mean, it's kind of massive. I mean, the GT3 RS smokes most cars by 20 seconds with 500 horsepower. You're talking about 1,200 to beat it by 20. That's still not that impressed. I'm not that impressed. 1,200 horsepower to get it by 20 seconds and a 7-minute drive. That's crazy. It's more crazy, in my opinion, to have a 500 horsepower car that smokes every other car out there.
You're talking about doing a 630. I think the only thing that's done lower than 630 is the AMG1.
Yeah, hypercar.
You guys are crazy.
They try and say it's a production car, which is bullshit. It's not like
It is not a production car. That is the biggest BS thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it shouldn't even be that. The real true king is the GT3 RS. I mean, that's the king of that. That's the
used to.
Yeah.
Now it's 01X.
Yeah.
Well, GT3 RS has a faster time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it does.
I think the way you guys look at it is twisted now, because you guys are used to it. But a 500 horsepower car that is built, you understand, the car is built. This is the one thing people mistake myself when it comes to Porsche. It's not that I hate the cars. I hate what people think it is. They think it's the supercar. It's 500 horsepower because they build a car that you can actually use. Yeah. I'll give it to it all day.
I think it's the ultimate driver's car.
It is because it's usable.
That's
so
right.
when you go on a track like that, it's usable.
It's not just a track, bro.
It's not impressive to have a 500 horsepower car.
It's not just a track. This is where you always make that argument where I want to scream into the fucking mic, like into the
comment.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, it's not just a track. It's if you ever drive any sort of canyon, country, back roads, it's there too.
It's turns.
Yes,
I understand that.
He doesn't drive.
So if you never drive that, like that's mostly what I drive. That is the funnest driving for me. Like the freeway spirited driving, it's kind of fun, but it's not that much fun.
Having a 500 horsepower car
do that.
that works the turns efficiently, that's exactly what it's built to do.
Having
a 1,200 horsepower car that can depower and actually hold a turn like that and then accelerate and get out, that's the engineering marvel that the two of you can't comprehend.
But it's not
about a 500 horsepower.
That's the whole
It's not even close.
It has 700 horsepower more and it can keep up like that. That's what you guys don't understand.
Because it's making up the straights.
The car is literally the best all-around car in every single aspect.
No.
Because it has 1,200 horsepower. When you need straight line, it's there. When you need it to get off a dig, it literally has, you understand the ZR1, the base, not even
the
X.
If it could corner the same way and it had 700 horsepower, it would absolutely
be
destroy
minutes
time.
less. Yeah.
It wouldn't post the same time.
Yeah.
With
it posted the same time
and
because
the ability to corner the same
they
way.
didn't go with professional. They didn't go with professional drivers. That's the only reason it posted the same time. Do you understand that?
Hey, listen.
That's the only reason. It also been potentially.
I like your Corvette. I like your Corvette take, but you just can't compare the two, bro. They're just not the same thing. There's a reason why there's a bunch of freaking Porsche people that are in love with that car so much, because it's that dope on the turns. And unless you're a pro driver and can handle that, you're going to feel safer on any track, on any backcountry road, driving that. Unless you want to drive, like I have to drive my 488, which is constantly fluttering the gas and like afraid to step on it. I am not afraid to step on that Porsche. That's the only car I have. The two Porsches, the only two cars I'm not afraid to throttle it down and brake hard in the corner and yank the wheel. I mean, I can't do that in any other car. And if you want to do that, that's the car. If you don't care to do that, then it ain't the car for you because it's going to get eaten up on the freeway. All day long. Like I don't like it for that. I'm not letting some young kid in the Demon or the Corvette or any car come up to me in front when I'm in that car. I'm like, follow me in the country and then we'll go have some fun. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the car for that. I'm not out there to try and do that with that car.
I just can't.
But you have both. You have a sick 812 that is definitely a great spirited get on a car on the freeway, and then you have a car. I mean, that's kind of how I've built this thing. Is I want to be able to have the car for the thing I'm doing. And if you think the ZR1 is that, it's not. It's just not. It's not going to handle the same way. I haven't driven one, but I'm telling you, it won't feel the same way. I know it won't. And those times speak that. It would, or else it would, if it cornered anywhere near the way that Porsche corners, it would destroy it by minutes. By minutes, it would be faster. Okay. Bro, it's not debatable. It's kind of science, actually.
It is debatable.
It's physics.
It's very debatable. That's part of the dynamic. It handles. I'll say give it. Okay, let's say in a scale 1 to 10, if a Porsche is a 10 in cornering specifically, it's a 7.
I mean, it's 0 to 60 way faster. It's 0 to 100 faster. It's got higher top end. That's the reason why it's coming close to the GT3 RS. If it didn't do those things, it would get eaten alive. So it needs needs that 700 more horsepower in order to even do that.
It doesn't have nearly as much aero. Like, just put the two cars next to each other.
Which, by the way,
what doesn't have more aero?
The ZR1 does not have nearly as much aero.
You know that the new GT3 RS even doubles my aero. So I haven't driven the newest one. This thing right here. You can feel it squat down as you speed up. As you speed up into these things, you can feel that thing hug the ground. It's the wildest thing I've ever felt. And that has half the aero as the new one does. I can only imagine what that feels like. Those cars don't have that, dude. They just don't. They're cool, though. You know? And you can wear your cut-off shorts, and you can wear your fucking, one of those shoes that everybody wears that drives Corvettes.
Well, if you have the money for a ZR1X, then you're wearing on clouds.
Is that the new move on clouds?
New Balances or
the
classic
New Balance.
Corvette
That's what it
move.
was.
If you can afford the ZR1X,
I mean, you're building a garage. I'm talking all this shit with you, but you come back and visit me next time. I'll have a fucking ZR1 in my kid. Be like, you motherfucker, you bought one. I think it's a dope car. So what I want to know, what I'm curious about, is how it sounds in comparison. Like, did you lose the sound with all the hybrid shit extra on it, or is it going to have the same beefy sound as the C8? Is it going to have that still? Do you know?
Z06, or like talking about like the Z06 compared to ZR1, or
yeah?
No, it's the twin turbo kills it.
It does, huh?
It absolutely does. They'll beef it up a little bit, but there's nothing that's going to sound like the Z06.
See, when I look at any of these cars, whether you call it a supercar, a race car, or whatever, I actually think of a lot of things. I go, and it doesn't matter to me where everybody else labels it. I think of handling, I think of speed, I think of interior, I think of I factor all of them in, and I want like a little bit of all of that, or I want that, or to be like excel in some of those things, and so those are all the factors when I'm like curating the garage. Is like, what is it? Does it have all that? And the Corvette it got incredible performance, but it lacks in a lot of other things. It's not going to have the presence, as cool as it does look, but they look too much like the other ones, and everybody's got them. So they're not. I mean, you guys, everyone keeps asking like, what defines a supercar? I have something that's different than everybody else.
What defines a supercar?
If a 5-year-old kid gets excited and grabs his dad's shirt,
that's it.
That's it. They should know better than anybody else. If it drives by and it gets the 5-year-old excited,
turn a kid into a car person.
Yeah. That's probably the same thing I'm saying, right? Like, if a kid sees it and then he buys it, puts it on his wall, and he's excited, or he grabs his dad's shirt and he's pulling on it, pointing at it. And I think the last test of that is the dad has to also turn his head, because the dad goes, that's just a Corvette, son. Then it's not that cool. Or, it's just a Tesla truck. That doesn't matter, son. You know what I'm saying? So the kid is the one that
kids love Tesla trucks.
They do. My buddy who's got a bunch of supercars is like, he's like, dude, my kids get more. He's got all these badass supercars, dude. He's like, my kids get more excited about the side.
My nieces and nephews, all they care about is seeing a rainbow wrapped Tesla Cybertruck.
Oh God, we're ruining this generation.
I know.
Coming up, dude.
So. We're basically at 2 hours.
Oh wow.
Did we miss any stories that we had talked about before that we wanted to talk about?
I don't remember all the stuff that we covered before. I think we covered most of those ones.
We didn't even get to podcast stuff.
I know. I know. I was waiting to talk to you guys about the business stuff like that because there's so much around that.
What's your like, your top advice for what's the right category? Just building a business or podcast specifically? What comes to mind?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by what's my top advice in regards to what? What do you mean?
I guess like, I don't know. What advice do you have for us for building a podcast?
I think that when you guys create content, you should always come from a place of trying to add value to your audience. And so try and understand your audience as well as you can. I think you guys have a pretty good idea of like who's listening, what they're into. Mm-hmm. Then the next question you have to ask is like, what are those people into and what do they want to learn and what do they want to know? And then build your content around that. And so, and then also make an effort to get to that as fast as you can in every episode.
Yeah.
Because you're not just trying to appeal to the hundreds or thousands of people that already love Gavin and Joe. You're trying to appeal to these people, the 10 or 100 people that are listening today for the very first time. And they don't know any of us, but they're into supercars, and so they just clicked on the thing, probably how I did for the first time. And what hooks me to keep me coming. Now, when sometimes like probably what hooked me was that I saw a bit of myself in the two of you, and so then it maybe didn't matter that you didn't give me something super valuable. So I'm not a good example. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people that get put onto you, unfortunately, people are going to look for something in return. It's like if I'm going to spend my time listening to these people, I need to get some sort of, especially podcast people, because podcast people are people that are normally listening to things for personal growth. They want to learn. Like that's just like we know this about podcasting. It's less about YouTube is more and TikTok and Instagram is more mindless scrolling and entertainment. Podcast people are like wanting to learn. They want to learn. And so approach your episodes with that intent. Everything from the way you title it to the content to the guest, and then try and get to that in the first minute as fast as you can, so that you hook somebody in to listen to all of it, and then they'll fall in love with your personalities and because you guys have a unique banter, which is that nobody can replicate, which is awesome. That's what makes you guys special, and why you've done as well as you have is because you have this bond already, and it comes out in the show, and it's relatable, and so it will capture some guys like that who go, oh man, I totally see myself in each one of them, or one of them totally identify, right? But
you get two friends that don't make any sense.
Yeah,
everyone's got a friend. It's like we don't make sense, but somehow.
I mean, if you look at my two other co-hosts, that's us. We do actually. You guys are more friends. We don't even hang out together. So we know more about each other. We're bonded like brothers, but we're so different. We're into different things. We don't even hang out with each other. But on the show, we have this incredible dynamic personalities-wise and stuff like that. You guys have that, and so that's what will keep people coming back. But they're gonna want to feel like every time they got like whatever makes me. If I ever turn off an episode of yours that I'm listening to with like a guest that maybe I don't connect with or with that, if I'm not like if there's not something like you guys aren't talking about something, I'm either learning something new. I gotta really like the guest to keep tuning in, and so if I'm not getting something that I really like, and I don't care for the guests that much, then I'll drift off, right? I told you guys I listened to at least the first half on my way to work, which is about a 25-30 minute commute.
Did it earn the trip?
Exactly. Did I put the rest on the way back? It was, how much was I interested in? It would be interesting to go back and see which ones I did that with and which ones I didn't.
Specifically, for like a kind of casual supercar enthusiast, how did you feel about like our deep dive into like the tuning world?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally liked. In fact, I listened to all of Matt, right?
Yeah.
I listened to all of Matt's because I was fascinated with the tunes. Because one of the things I was really nervous about tuning my car is I'm like, these aren't cars you want to fuck up and like ruin warranties or any of the above, right? And so like I want to make sure like. So that was interesting to me. It was very interesting to listen to that. So, and I liked what's his face with Valvetronic because I'm into the different exhaust systems and understanding what makes them the way they are. And so, yeah, these are episodes that I liked Edmund because he's a race car driver and you get to hear. I love hearing his perspective because he's an elite level driver. And so, like hearing that guy talk about cars, he gets added credit for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like. Yeah. Could have a bunch of young kids.
Type of perspective.
Yeah, so the what was the race car driver, the black guy that you guys had on?
Jesse.
I listened to all of him. So and I love the tire debate. Everybody thinks these tires are hot. Like, so yeah. So notice there are all these things that like I felt like I picked something up from that, and that's what kept me coming back and listening to them. So learning how to manufacture that.
Yeah.
So it took us a really long time. Like we were like, you guys just kind of shoot from the hip, and it ends up being pretty good, and people get a little bit of stuff sprinkled in. When we really honed in on our skills was when we really started to learn what people wanted, and then we started to like manufacture that. Like, okay, people love when we have, you know, dad talk or give advice around that. Oh, people obviously want to know our expertise, because that's our expertise, is building muscle, burning body fat, so breaking down the science, right? So we have a science tip that we have. Like, so we started to formulate like what made that, and then it was important to get to that early, and then we could have our free shit talk and have fun and like loose afterwards. But getting to that meat was to really hook the new people in so the audience grew. And then the other thing I think I told you guys off air was nothing will grow the podcast faster than collabing with people your size or bigger. So and even if you go a little bit smaller, it's not a big deal, because actually sometimes doing smaller podcasts are a strength, because you guys are already at a skill level, because you've been doing it long enough that if you have some guy who has like a really small podcast he just started, you guys go on there, you might win all of his people over, and now they all come listen to you because he's not that good. Now, he's small, so you don't get a lot of people that way, but you could, so it's still worth it. I used to take every podcast interview. We used to do anyone, we'd spread out, we'd go, you go this way, I go that way, and we'd do as many interviews as possible. I didn't care if you had 10 people listening to you early on. Now my team, like, they want to evaluate like our
For
yeah,
sure.
But early on, you take all that shit. You get on every show you can. You bring on and you collaborate with guests that also have podcasts. That'll stack the show like really fast, and just keep doing it. And then again, like I said, add value. I would I don't know if you guys are building your email list. That was one of the biggest mistakes I made in the business. I actually thought email was dead. It was like I'll never forget this day. This is like 3 years in. We're already making good money. We're already over $1 million business, but I think email's dead. And I think the future is Facebook, Instagram. That's how people communicate. Why would I grow an email list? Had a couple ladies on my show. They had cauliflower pizza. Like I never even heard of them or like that. Like it was like a brand that I never heard of. Got to know them, and we got off air. We were talking business, and so what are the number one ways you guys make revenue? And so that, and they're like, oh, our email list. I'm like, really? Your email list still today? And they're like, oh yeah, no, we send out 2 or 3 emails a month, and we generate about $200,000 from it. $200,000 from your email list. A couple girls I never even heard of before have a small following. I'm like, what? They're like, oh yeah, we put a sale out on there. And that day, I was like, oh my God, we have to start building our email list. And what that looked like was, because you're asking for something in exchange for people, you want to give something of value. So what mine looks like in my business is go to mindpumpfree.com. I have these 5,000 word documents that are, done very professionally. I've spent thousands of dollars on editing them, making them nice. And there are things like a fat loss guide, or how to build 2 inches on your arms, things that pertain to my business. For you guys, I would do things like guide on how to choose the right supercar, or what things to look out for, but put together what you call white papers, which are free papers or guides. And you use those to give to your audience in exchange for the email. So you're not asking a lot, you're not trying to sell. You don't want to try and sell that. You just want to exchange that for email list. Then you start to slowly do that. You get, and because you're giving away something so valuable for just an exchange of email, 99% of people will be like, of course, that's an awesome, I would download that shit for sure. So you have my email. Then once you have them, then you want to keep those people active in your email list and engaged. So you're just trying to do things like what you call nurturing them. So once or twice a week, you send out something else that's valuable. It could be something as simple, like in my world, it's like a recipe, something that's of value that makes you open it. And so it could be like the deal of the week of what car is
market update or whatever.
Market update could be very simple. You could use ChatGPT to provide the content for you, very easy. So then you're nurturing those people, and you don't think about how you're going to make money yet or sell anything yet. You don't care. Right now, you're just learning how to keep giving people value and keep them opening emails and keep growing that list. Through time, and you said this already, your audience will tell you what they want. And then before you know it, you have thousands of emails, and people are going like, man, I wish you guys would do this, or I wish you said, like, ooh, that's a product, or ooh, that's a service that we can charge for. And then you start to build that, and then you can market to your email list. You can talk about it on the podcast, and now you have a real business. And you did it based off of what your community told you they wanted from you. And so your conversion rate on that will be so high and you've already built so much trust with that audience because you've been nurturing them with so much value. So when we launched, we did over 300 episodes before we ever sold one thing. So year one, I made $0 intentionally. I already had a product to sell. We already had our first program, digital program that we'd already built out, ready to sell. We didn't sell it. And the reason why we didn't sell it was because we didn't have any loyalty yet. We were like, we're going to keep giving to this audience until we think it's right. And we didn't know when that was going to be. The day that it happened was this. The four of us owners came into our little studio. And when we sat down, each guy, no joke, literally said, dude, I got like 2 messages yesterday from people just trying to give me money. I'm like, really? I'm like, that's so weird. Someone was asking me about a Patreon. You know what a Patreon is? Like, I didn't know what that was back then. Like, yeah, somebody wants to give us money at a Patreon. And so I had somebody ask me if like literally each guy had like multiple stories of people that were in our community that were trying to support our cause. Because we had already provided so much free, valuable content to them that they felt compelled to buy a shirt or buy whatever we would sell, but we had nothing to sell. And that was the day we all occasionally said, okay, it's time to monetize. We had the program, we launched it, it was off and running. And it wasn't like I became a millionaire overnight. You know, we sold a few hundred, which was a few $1,000s worth of revenue divided by 4 guys, which is not quitting your day job. But it was like, oh, we're on to something. Mm-hmm. We have something that people want. And we waited until we had built a lot of value and credibility with these people. And now let's just listen to our audience. And so then we would continue to do those things, building an audience, giving free guides, bringing value, nurturing. And then we listen to our audience on what they want. At that time, back then, we used to talk a lot of shit about CrossFit. Because at that time, it was like peak popularity. And we were trying to tell people it's a pretty shitty way for most people to train. And we would break down the science and explain why. And then our audience was like, okay, well, what if I like that way of training? And what if I think I like those exercises? Like, what would you guys do? Like, great, we'll write a program for you guys that we would do that's programmed better than CrossFit. So that was the second program we sold. So we've done that for 25 programs and so much stuff later. But that's how we slowly just built that. And so it looks no different for you. It's just in the car world. And I can think of all kinds of ideas of free, valuable things that you give to them, that you continue to nurture and you build, store credit with them. And then let them tell you what it is. And it could be, bro, it could be something crazy. You guys could get paid consulting fees to help someone buy. You could find, like, I can only imagine if you guys were doing this for so long, I had learned all this stuff from you. And because I thought about this. I tried to reach out to PJ personally. I DM'd him a few times. I actually wanted him to go find a car for me, and I was going to give him a buyer's fee. And I know I bought his fucking thing to be in this community. I paid for all that, but like I have too much on my plate to do the work. I didn't want to go read all the courses and learn. I was like, fuck, it's not worth it for me. But what I would have done is I would have given him a percentage of going and finding the right buy for me, for sure. I would have easily given that up. So if that was you guys, and you had taught me all those things, and you offered a service like that, I would easily give up 5% on one of those cars to have found a good deal that's a smart buy for me, and because I trust you, and I would either whatever that margin is, you can make that. And so
heads up, that is an offer. So if you want us to do that, we will do that for you. So DM us, and we will happily do that for you.
Yeah. See, so
just so you know,
this though is you can never. Some other advice, right? You can never wait too long to monetize. You can only do it too early. So it's one of the biggest mistakes that people make. They do it before they've earned the right to do that. And so I'm a firm, so there's only 2 things that anytime someone's making a purchase, there's 2 things that it's value and price. And if someone doesn't make a purchase, it's because they saw the price and the value here. Your job as a business operator is to get the value so high that the price seems insignificant, no matter what it is you're selling. Whether you're selling a $100 thing or a $5,000 service, your job is to provide so much goddamn value that the price looks like this. And what people do is they get a little excited because they build a little bit of community. They get a little bit of people saying, oh, I would buy shirts or I would buy this thing from you. And they're like, all right, let's go. Let's start making money. And they put the thing out and they make a couple bucks. They're not making a lot of money yet because they're not providing enough value, and they have this false sense of we have something yet and we really don't. You need to go back to building more value until they're so inundated with value that they feel compelled to give you money even if you have nothing else to give them. That's when you have something. And then you can start to do that. And then you just keep building that network and nurturing and adding value, and you keep thinking customer first and how much can we do more for those people. And in your guys' world, I can think of a lot of things that I could give to that community that I think would be valuable. And this is what, of all your guests you've had, PJ has done this the best. This is what he did. He took his knowledge of 20 plus years in the watch game and the car game and understanding a market better than most people back then. More people are privy today. But back then, nobody understood it like he did. So he was first to market. And he did such a good job of teaching so many people his steps, his knowledge, so that he built this massive community. And now he's milking it 9 ways, different ways, which is the same thing as my business. Like you can see all the different legs. Like the podcast grew the community and built the relationship. Then all the things on the back end gave all this tremendous value out. Now I've got 9 different revenue streams off of all of it. Money coming in all different ways. Because we've built community and we've given so much value, and all I've had to do is listen to segments of that audience. It's like, oh, you guys want someone to personal training? Okay, we could do that. Oh, you want it in person? Okay, yeah, we could do that. Oh, you want it virtually? Okay, we do it. Oh, you want to go through that process through a group? Okay, yeah, we could do that. Oh, you just want a digital program set up on your, okay, yeah, we could do that. Oh, now we have attracted so many people. We have thousands of trainers that listen to us because they want to learn from us. Oh, we have trainers. Oh, let me create a course for you to become a better trainer. Oh, then let me build another course to help you scale and build your business so you make more money as a trainer. Oh, you want some one-on-one mentoring? Well, that's like top dollar if you want to come in and actually meet with me or my guys in the studio. So it's just so many. Once you do that, once you build the community, once you build giving that much value, the business is in the amount of businesses that you can build is, and that's a real business. That's a real company because you did that. Now the options are infinite on what you can do from that. So keep doubling and tripling down on the value. Keep serving your community. Keep trying to figure that problem because that's the hardest problem to solve first, and it's not easy. And everybody thinks it's going to be easy, or they try and do it. They try a few things and then they give up, or they make the mistake because they had 5 people go, oh, I want to buy a shirt from you. And so we start merch, right? My worst revenue stream. I think we do maybe 200, 250, which might sound to someone else like a big deal, but when you talk about the business, we do $200,000 a year in merch, and the margins are 50%, and I got to pay someone to ship it, and I got to pay another person to manage it and ship shit out every single day. I mean, I'm making dirt on that. That's like my work of all the business I have, which is normally people that want to learn from me, like the number one go-to move is sell merch, sell supplements. Supplements are 10 to 15% margins, terrible margins, and merch is terrible margins and so hard to do. And unless you're into like apparel and you're a designer and you know that shit really well, it's hard to get rich doing that. And thinking that you're going to is kind of crazy. You're better off providing value to your community on the things that they're interested in doing, and then letting them tell you the services and the things that you can continue to help provide them. Like, there's where your business lies.
Yeah, I've seen the people that do well on merch have, I mean, you're talking just like mega millions of fans.
You have to have millions.
Those are the people that do well.
Millions. You have to have millions. So
people see the Nelk boys do $5 million in 10 minutes.
It's really dangerous to look at people like Nelk boys, even Fighter the Kid, my buddy Brennan Schaub and those guys. They built their businesses off of like merch. And he's a good example. So Schaub had a much bigger. You guys know who Fighter the Kid is? You guys know who Brennan Schaub and who Brian Callen are?
You've had him on the show before, no?
Yeah. So they're huge podcast guys. They're friends of Joe Rogan. They've been on Joe Rogan's show a bunch of times.
He's kind of a car guy too.
He's
a little leg to him, right?
He's a big car guy. He's all into the trucks and the demons, and he's that guy. So they for many years they were the big dogs. We looked at a lot of the way they did things and tried to learn from them, and they made lots of money for several years off of merch. And that business has completely disappeared from them. Like, that's all they had though. They were all entertainment, and then they sold merch. And he made pretty good money, but he didn't make that great of money. He made, a living, and he has a house, and he had a GT3 for a little while that he had to sell in order to buy a Demon. But he's not doing it, like really doing it, and it disappeared. And that's the other thing too, is that you build a fan base, and the Nelk boys are an example. I would challenge them that in 10 years from now, their merch will suck balls. Because right now you have a bunch of teenage kids that think they're so cool that buy their merch. Someday that teenage kid becomes a 30-year-old man, and wearing another man's t-shirt with their name on it is not very cool when you're 34 years old.
Right. And cool. They're also going to be 40-something, and like they can't make the sort of content they're making.
That's right.
Anymore.
That's right. So that game goes.
It's a young person's
It's a young person's game. It's a short runway. It's not a lot of money. It's terrible margins. Yet it's the number one go-to move that anybody that starts to build a community, because it's easy. It's a layup. You go buy shirts from China, put my fucking brand on it, double the price. But it's like, you're not going to get rich doing that. Like, you're going to, unless you are uber famous like the Nelk boys.
Right.
It's just not. And then
They've done enough mini millions, and then they start an alcohol brand.
And then you also have to factor this in. Like, I don't know if you guys are big fans or listen to Alex Hormozy or not. Brilliant business mind. If you guys don't, you should.
Oh yeah.
You always have to. Good entrepreneurs are very efficient with their time. Speed is like one of the number one traits that makes someone really, really successful. And anything that takes time out of my day, the ROI is not good. Like, I'm going backwards. So if I'm fucking around with the side of the business that has terrible margins, that doesn't have a long runway, then it's keeping me from the real thing that's really going to make me a lot of money. And so what I'm doing is I'm wasting my time right now. And so that's another area that's why that percentage, the 5% only make it to $1 million, and very few people make it to 10 million. Because the leap from $1 million to 10 million is speed and scale. Like, a lot of people don't move that fast and know how to delegate quick enough and walk away from certain things that they shouldn't waste their time on. That's like another level of the game, though. But you guys, that's just a little bit of the business.
Well,
I appreciate that.
Unfortunately, we do got to wrap it up.
Yeah. No, you guys gotta get out of here soon.
You've said the most underrated cars. We talked about that. What's the most overrated car today? Huracan?
Yeah.
For what reason?
Actually, no, I take that back. I'm going to say Urus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Just because they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. I prefer the Audi if I wanted that performance and stuff. I think it's just, it feels like they're a dime a dozen. I feel like everybody, that's like the first go-to move is a Lamborghini. I've never, and of all the cars we've talked about, we've talked a lot about the Lamborghini. Not the Urus, because I fit in the Urus fine, but one of the reasons I don't have a Lamborghini is I don't fit in them very well. Surprised you. That was like, when you got that, I was like, Jesus, I can't only imagine what he feels like inside that thing.
I made that work. That was not
ideal. It's not comfortable.
That's why I got the E12. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, Ferraris are way more nice than really. So that's part of why I'm not a Lambo guys, because they're not made for 6'3", 220-pound dudes. They're made for little guys. So
supercar size. And
I feel like Huracan is like the first thing that everybody goes to, and so I just think that's overrated. Mm-hmm. But I say that with also the caveat of, like I told you before, like, I like all cars. Like,
yeah.
I'm thinking about, I'm trying to convince my wife to sell the GT4 so I can get her a Huracan. Because I'd like her to see that, because I want something different. It's too similar to the GT3 that I don't have fun driving it. So I want something that I could also drive a little bit that she'll look hot in. And I'm like, she look hot in like the right spec. STO or perf, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's like perf. I know, perf. No, I'm a big perf fan. Because that's actually the only Lamborghini interior I like. I don't like Lamborghini's interior either.
Perf interior
is
very
tier.
It is. It's
best interior.
It is. It's
full Alcantara. It's
forged carbon.
It's beautiful. I mean, literally, the perf interior is the only good Lamborghini other than or SVJ. I don't like a lot of the Lambo's interior, dude.
Even the SVJ is kind of. It can be nice, but it's kind of.
If you get a good spec, it looks sick.
You have to get a good spec.
But you're right. Like that's a knock. You know, again, we're nitpicking all awesome cars, but one of the minuses for me on Lamborghini is their interior. I don't like their interior.
It's all relative. Is it a nice interior? Sure, but when you stick it next to the A12 interior, it's not even close.
Not even close. Ferrari does such a better job with that. So yeah, if you were gonna pin me into a corner and I had to say that, I'd probably say a Huracan or Urus, almost any Lamborghini. Actually, you wanted a hot take, I'd say the SVJ is the most overrated car. And that's probably because everyone on Instagram made it so popular. Yeah. And it's like not even a driver's car. It's like single clutch, fucking, cool to roll up at car meets, but not cool to drive.
Right. It's a marketing car.
Totally. So.
Well, I mean, it's fun because of how it sounds.
Yeah, I mean,
the experience.
I want one too.
It's such a visceral experience. So for someone that's not there to drive the car, it's the top experience. Yeah. It's just like.
Yeah, nothing. At least all the car meets I've been to, even like a Bugatti or a Jesco or like Koenigsegg stuff, like any of those cars, Pagani's, I actually think that the SVJ gets more attention. Most people don't know what the Koenigsegg or Pagani, and they just think it looks weird because it's so rare. Mm-hmm. And unless you get in it and you see the craftsmanship, because I feel like you see the craftsmanship of that, and that to me is just a whole other level. That to me, that is like absolute beauty and art, and so I have appreciation for it. But I feel like the average person at a car meet would see the SVJ and think that it's a bigger deal, and not if you don't know, So I think it gets more head turns than those cars do.
Last question.
You're gonna have to put yourself in a little bit of a different realm of thought, but you have 3-car garage.
Okay.
You have one SUV, you have one car under $1 million, and one car over $1 million.
Oh, you did different to me.
This is what we've been doing lately.
I'm going to take my Range Rover SVR as my SUV. One car over $1 million, one car under $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. And are we like talking even hypercars and stuff like that?
Anything.
Anything over $1 million.
It's your garage.
You know what? I don't know if I would, I'm like, seriously, Eddie's freaking Carrera GT is like, oh, you know what? Over $1 million, a Singer. Or Gunther's Work. Either one of those cars. I would take that Porsche. And that would be my over $1 million car. I know that hurts you so bad to hear that. That it would be a Porsche that I would put in my over $1 million. And then any car under $1 million?
Mm-hmm.
Does an SVJ count as under $1 million? Yeah. Okay, then that would be it. So it'd be an SVJ is my, $900,000 car. My, $1.5-2 million car would be my, super custom Singer. And then I love the Range Rover SVR. I would honorable mention would be a G-Wagon. I think those would be an honorable mention. But
you think the Range Rover SVR is the best SUV you can get?
Oh yeah, I love that. I mean, I could have got any of them. I could have got any of the ones, and that was the one I picked.
Yeah.
And I've driven most everything. What have I not driven? I haven't done a new Audi that's the same platform as yours, so I don't know what that one is like. But I've heard that's awesome because I hear it's literally the same platform. Mm-hmm. The Aston Martin is pretty sick. That would be a close one.
Yeah, 707.
Mm-hmm. That's a dope. That's a dope car.
No Cullinan love.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I put that in a different category. I don't think of that as like an SUV. That's like a.
Because it's $300,000-$400,000.
Yeah, well, no, I guess it is an SUV, but I don't even think of it like. I think Rolls is just like this, the ultimate. I mean, I want a Rolls Royce. I want a Phantom though. I'm more of a Phantom guy than I am a Cullinan, although Cullinans are sick. And if that was in the SUV category, come on. I would never take an SVR over a Cullinan. I mean, that's stupid, So I was.
Like the answer's a Cullinan.
Yeah. I was actually thinking more practical, like a practical SUV, $1 million car, $1 million. So yeah, Cullinan's in there. You have to go with that. That's a tough ass car, dude. I love Rolls. Rolls is, talk about a car that is like everything: performance, luxury feel, presence, like. That's a dope.
That's a different driving experience.
Different, totally
different driving experience.
Yeah, that's why it didn't even cross my mind when you said that. Like I put it in another category.
Yeah.
The only reason why I don't have one right now is I would never put it outside. So, and I'm not putting any of these outside. So it's like, and I'm not gonna. And that's a car that I would want to drive a lot to like dinner and all the places. So I would want it in here. So until
like you need a lift.
No, I'm gonna build it. No, this doesn't have one. I'm gonna build another garage right here. So I'm gonna build another garage with a lift. Next door here, and then maybe that's when that'll get in there. Because I would never park that shit outside, and so that's or else I would have one of those. It's on the radar.
It's a good call.
It's not my garage.
Right? Oh, good. You guys normally cap on everybody's garage inside.
It's a true to you garage.
Well, I also, like I said, I feel like I have a little bit of both you guys. You know what I'm saying? I can appreciate
the SVJ, the Gunther Works. I approve of all choices personally.
Oh, cool. All right. I got good taste. Good. I'm glad we're all on the same page. We can hang out then.
I mean, I'd still take a Koenigsegg over a Gunther Works personally, but I can respect it.
Yeah, it's hard to not do that. Although, what's funny about that is I could see myself actually driving the Singer or Gunther Works. I feel like the, Koenigsegg, Pagani, like I want to look at it. Just sit. I wouldn't want to drive it. I'd be so almost afraid to drive it. So,
CPF that bad boy and get it on the road, baby.
I don't know. I mean, I would fucking drive it. Still would drive it, but I would have a different feeling where I feel
like a manual CCX.
Yeah, it's a bad car, dude.
It'd be wild.
Yeah.
Well, go follow Adam, Mindpump Adam, and Full Compression.
Actually, car people should probably
full compression.
Yeah, don't waste your time
full
with my.
But I mean, there's a lot of car people that like fitness stuff. So
yeah. No, if you're trying to get in shape and you're interested in that stuff, you can go look at the business at Mindpump Media. But all the car stuff is Full Compression.
Well, thank you for coming on as such a seasoned vet in the podcast world and giving us some of your time and letting us into your home.
I'm rooting for you guys, so keep it going. I'm a fan. I listen all the time, so
I appreciate it.
Keep it up.
We're not going anywhere.
All right. Yeah.
We're out.